Yes, and what we have seen is a bit of inconsistency on his part. He's looking to vary the length ever so often. The ball is of a goodish length, and the batsman is defending, and he rolls out to Devon Thomas at cover. But he was certainly on the short side, and the batsman had the width as well. After bowling a beautiful Yorker length delivery early on in the over, which beat the batsman, could have edged it. So the inconsistency in length and width cost him in that over, in this over. He continues. He's 104 for 1. Chandrapal Hemraj, the casualty, he went for 52. Here's Quinton Boatswain, right arm fast medium, and this is steered away, and a tumbling save by the fielder in that gully area, and the ball is cut off by that fielder. That looks to be Jace Taylor in that position. And at the end of that over of pace from Quinton Boatswain, it's 104 for 1. The Guyana Jaguars winning the toss and batting against the Leeward Hurricanes in this regional first-class match at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium.
Yes, Chandrapal Hemraj may have gifted his wicket away, but while he was at the wicket, the Guyanese were scoring pretty quickly because he was scoring, rapid. Seems as if he was playing a 50-over match, because he would have gotten 50-odd from just 60-odd deliveries, So that was some good batting on his behalf, on the Guyanese behalf as well.
Jace Taylor continues, and the batsman Chandrapal Hemraj is forward. Perhaps the ball left the bat in the air. Yes. Tajnarai Chandrapal forward. I got the impression there that ball left the bat in the air because the hands went up.
It did.
It wasn't far from the short leg, who lurks in that short leg position, and he's forward this time, head well over the ball, plays with an angled bat, and it goes very slowly out to the short extra cover area. Devon Thomas comes in and polishes the ball, tosses it across to Jace Taylor, who's bowling around the wicket. He's an off spinner, and Chandrapal allows this ball to go outside the line of the off stump, lifting the bat almost exaggeratedly outside the line of that off stump. Taken by wicketkeeper Jamal Hamilton, the Leeward Hurricanes captain, who crouches behind the stumps now as Taylor is in, and the batsman again allows that ball to go by outside the line of the off stump. So the sun setting, see lengthy shadows across the ground, and the lights have come on. They'll take effect later on. Chandrapal is back and just strokes it down towards the wide mid-on area. The mid-wicket comes around to his right to do the fielding. There is no run. Jace Taylor is in once more, and a batsman gets a ball which is flighted, and he's forward and just pushes it gently back along the pitch. So a maiden over. I think we have had quite a few maiden overs as well, certainly in succession from the off spinner. 104 for 1 with Chandrapal, Tajnarai Chandrapal unbeaten on 20 and 26 to Leon Johnson. The batsman out, Chandrapal Hemraj, he went for 52.
Yes, Jace Taylor with his last 2 overs, 2 maidens, two relatively good overs, and it's for him now to set Chandrapal up, because that's the way you have to out Chandrapal. You can't just run up and just bowl. You have to keep thinking, and you have to set him up in order to get his wicket.
Quinton Boatswain will be looking for a wicket now. He's bowling to Johnson, and Johnson is forward to full length delivery, gets it away down to the cover point area, and it's picked up by Casey Carty. The Leewards leaving out of their squad, Nino Henry and Monson Hodge, so they're fielding Jamal Hamilton, captain, Kyron Powell, Devon Thomas, Sheena Berridge, Damian Jacobs, Casey Carty, Monson Hodge, Jason Peters, Quinton Boatswain, Jace Taylor, and Colin Kesron Archibald. And Guyana omitting Kevin St. Clair and Tevin Imlach. A ball which is again of fullish length, and the batsman is forward. This time he gets it a little bit to the left of Casey Carty at that point area, but again cannot get a run. The ball traveling quickly, so he's kept on 26. Leon Johnson, the left-handed batsman, So the Guyana squad is 11, Taj Narayan Chandrapal Hemraj, Vijal Singh, Leon Johnson, the captain, Raymond Reefer, Anthony Bramble, Christopher Barnwell, Virasamy Pramal, Devendra Bishu, Kian Joseph, and Niall Smith. Familiar looking Guyana side. The batsman is standing up straight to this delivery and plays it back along the pitch to the bowler. So Guyana have these players who've really been seasoned campaigners, Anthony Martin, for the Guyana team in this regional competition, likes of Christopher Barnwell, Virasamy Pramal, Anthony Bramble, Devendra Bishu. As Quinton Boatswain strides away from us, and it's clipped away down to the backward square area by Johnson. He'll get a run for it. Colin Archibald comes off the fine leg boundary, and his left-handed return comes low to wicket-keeper Hamilton. One more to Johnson. He's on to 27, and the score is inched on to 105. 105 for 1. Yes, the Guyana team, familiar looking.
Yes, exactly, and that's why they've been winning and winning and winning consistently, because they keep a core, a core of players, and they work around them, and from time to time you'd have a new player or two coming in.
Boatswain bowling to 2 slips and a gully, and Chandrapal is forward, and he'll get a single here. No, he has to go back because Johnson is not keen to go for it. The ball went past the bowler, Quinton Boatswain. The mid-on and the mid-off had to come around, and Chandrapal was scampering up the pitch, asking his captain to go for a run. And when he realized that Johnson wasn't moving, had to put the skates on, had to put the brakes on.
He was asking his captain to go for a run out.
And he had to scurry back into his ground. Yes, there was the mid-off fielder in Sheena Berridge, mid-on fielder in Sheena Berridge, and the man at mid-off in Damien Jacobs, converging. Outside the line of the off stump, very wide, not inviting the batsman to play that one. So the over has come to an end, and my stint has also come to an end. After further thoughts from Anthony Martin to do the ball-by-ball commentary, it will be Vincey Boyne.
Yes, that delivery from Quinton Boatswain, that was too wide to cause the batsman to really play a stroke there. And my view of Quinton Boatswain so far for this game, he has been really inconsistent, bowling one full, one short, one outside the off stump, one down the leg side. So I think Quinton Boatswain just need to settle himself down and think about it and get the job done, because he's someone who really could get the job done, as we welcome Vincey Boyne to the commentary position.
Yes, good afternoon, Anthony, and I certainly agree with you. Here we see Jace Taylor coming in again, bowling to Leon Johnson, who just prods forward and plays a defensive shot picked up by the short extra cover fielder. And yes, he has been quite inconsistent, Quinton Boatswain. Yeah, here it is again, bowling. And this time it's pushed back along the onside of the pitch, where the bowler just skips around, picks it up, and wearing 00 on his back as he walks behind the umpire. And he now prods in, bowls to Johnson, who drives. This time is fielded at the short extra covered position by Devon Thomas, who rubs on his flannels and returns to Jace Taylor. Taylor again into Johnson. This time he cuts it away, but the fielder at the deepish cover position looks like Munson Hodge, who comes around and fields. Actually, I think Munson Hodge is in the squad. Yes, it's Amir Django who is out. There we see Leon Johnson executing a big drive over the mid-on region, and it goes into the boundary now for 4 runs. So 4 well-played runs here by Leon Johnson. And since he has come in, he has been quite positive. As you can see, he has dominated the partnership. He has now overtaken Chandrapal by a large margin. He's now on 31. Chandapal, who was there from the beginning of the innings, he's laboring along on the score of 20. However, I guess his value to the team is staying at one end and blocking and frustrating the bowlers. Here we see Jay Taylor now bowling to Johnson again, who just stands up and pushes it away through the extra coverage region. Devon Thomas runs around, shadows the ball, but allows for Kezran Archibald or Colin Archibald to field and return. It's now the end of the over. Anthony, what are your thoughts so far of what you're seeing of the Leeward's attack this afternoon?
Well, to me, they look really down. You know, they don't look as if this is the first game of the season. To me, they look like this is maybe the last game. And, you know, it's about 10 games. So this, to me, looks as if it's the 10th game, and they would have played, you know, a lot of games coming down, and they're a bit tired.
Yeah, I thought they would have been rejuvenated after the results of what happened last year. I remember we were both in the booth
in the same
together
position
when the game ended quite disappointingly and anticlimactically. Here we see Boatswain again running in and bowling to Chandapal, who works it off the hips down to the fine leg position. Colin Archibald picks up and sends it to the bowler, to the keeper. Jamal Hamilton limiting the batsman to a run. Yes, I remember that it ended quite anticlimactically, and at the time, at the beginning of that match, Leeward could have challenged to win the championship. They ended up being third due to an error in judgment, but we thought that they would have come out with some fire in this match to prove that they wanted to better last season's results. There we see Boatswain again delivering wide of the off stump. Now, one thing, Boatswain has been bowling a lot quicker than any of the other bowlers on show. However, he has not been keeping a consistent enough line to create any trouble for the batsman. I remember you earlier saying that if they could you know, bowl with a little more life, with a little more fire, maybe they could penetrate the batting so far, but so far the Leewards have not been able to do so. In goes Boatswain again into Johnson on the off stump, and he drives up to mid-off, misfield there by the fielder running across from cover position, and the misfield allows the batsman to get an additional 2 runs. The fielder there being Damien Jacobs. Did a poor job there of trying to cut that drive up to mid-off. It was not a powerful drive by any stretch of the imagination, and he could have just run around and picked up, but he chose to dive and missed it completely, offering an additional 2 runs to the batsman.
Maybe he thought he saw some water.
Here we see Boatswain again, this time into Chandapal, wide again, and he cuts it away, but it goes to point. The fielder, Casey Carty, runs around to his left, and he picks up, and the batsman runners single. So we see Chandapal now moving on to 22. Johnson is on 34. Quite positive batting on Johnson's part, and earlier, even more positive batting from Chandapal Hemraj, who got to 50 quick runs in about 60 deliveries. Here we see Boatswain again. This time it's wide of the off stump, just a little outside off stump. You could see Johnson was shaping to play one of his more productive shots for the afternoon, but he elected to let this one go through. I think in this case, his judgment was very good, because that ball did not bounce very much, and decided that at this time it was more beneficial to him to leave that one alone.
Yes, because that wasn't causing any problems, really.
Exactly. Here we see again Boatswain running in. Strong young man, and another full-length delivery on off stump, pushed up to the wide mid-off position, and this time Damien Jacobs does a better job of fielding, but then this one was not as did not present the same problems as the fielding opportunity he had earlier in the over.
Yes, good going here by the Guyanese. They're cruising along, and Chandapal, he don't really have much problem in batting, and he doesn't really have to score. He's doing a job for his team, and he's doing it pretty well because they want someone who could stay at the wicket while the other partner, he's the main scorer, and Chandapal is just there to really keep the wicket and frustrate the bowlers. So he's doing a good job.
Yes, I think so too. Here we see Jace Taylor again bowling. This time Chandapal prods forward. It appears as if he may have been struck on the pads. Just a asking question.
That one spun away.
Oh, it spun away.
Past the edge.
Oh, okay. It seemed as if the fielders were appealed somewhat. Maybe they were appealing for caught behind decision. Jace Taylor has been quite economical. His 13 overs on one delivery has cost him about 24 runs, and included in that is 6 maiden overs. There we see Chandapal pushing away at one on the off stump to the bowler, who just runs around, picks up on field, walks back to his mark as he prepares to bowl again. In he comes to Chandapal. This time he's driving up to the mid-on position, but there's a fielder there, Damian Jacobs, who cuts it off, and no run again.
And if you notice, Taylor seems to be giving Chandapal some problems.
Yes. And he comes again. This one, he was hurried into the shot. He pushed it up to the mid-arm region. What I would like to see Damian Jacobs, Jake Taylor do is maybe mix it up with flighting some a bit and then pushing through some others. There he is, pushing this one away to the point region, or short third man region. Again, no run, another dot ball, and Chandapal has the ability to soak up quite a number of dot balls. I'm sure he has faced almost 100 deliveries already for this innings. There he is again, coming out and pushing this one up to a short cover position, and this signals the end of the over, and also it signals the water break. So we have just completed another hour after the break, and the players will now be taking a bit of refreshment and rejuvenating themselves for the next hour.
Yes, you said just a while ago that Jake Taylor needs to mix up his deliveries a little bit, but I think he's really trying to do so. But whenever he chose to give ear, he bowls it just a bit too full, so he gets struck for boundaries whenever he really try to mix it up. So it's not the case that he isn't trying to mix it up, but the odd one that he floats up is just a bit too full. So it's for him to just pull back that one a little bit, and I think he would be, in a good position to take a few wickets for the Leeward Islands and for himself.
Yes, because he's bowling from the southern end, and he should be able to take advantage of that drift that it would allow him to get bowling from that end. And he's bowling to the left-handers, and if he could get that drifting into the left-hand and then straightening, he could cause him some problems. And I believe a little flight could cause him to delay their stroke and allow for his off-break bowling to offer him some success. But he has to get it right, as you say. Just to bring you up to date on some of the other games that are going on in the region, the West Indies playing against Ireland in Bridgetown, Barbados. There's a break in the action there. Ireland have batted out their 50 overs, and they have scored 237 runs. So that West Indies need to make 238 runs to win that second ODI. As you know, they would have won the first ODI, and so they need a 238 to win this second match. Again, Alzari Joseph, local Antiguan boy, had a very good spell, again a 10-over spell, and again he took 4 wickets for 32 runs, which he did in the first match, which helped him to earn the Man of the Match award. In the other game, which is between Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago are batting first. They are presently on the score of 232 for 3 wickets. 232 for 3 wickets are the Trinidad and Tobago team. And in the other match, Windward Islands playing against Barbados, and I believe that is in Kingston in St. Vincent. Windward Islands, the Barbados is actually presently on 221 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. And that represents a somewhat of a strong position, or stronger position, because at one point they were 74 for the loss of 7 wickets. And they received somewhat of a recovery between 2 batsmen. I know Jamel Warrican was one, and I think it's Javon Sales, and they both featured in a 114-run partnership for the 8th wicket. So presently, there are 221 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. That's just to bring you up to speed on the other games happening in the region.
Yes, a big comeback there by the Bajans, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
and that really took some courage there from the 2 lower order batsmen, you know.
Certainly.
Yes, and with the West Indies, as I would have said earlier, I think they would have knocked them over for less than 240.
Right.
And, you know, here is it's 237, so, you know, it's good going also there by the West Indies. So it's just for them to go in and, you know, bat properly and win this game and go 2 up in the series.
Yes, and I think West Indies would need to take these games seriously, get some wins under their belt, because outside of the fact that we have some of the players performing in patches, like for instance, Hetmeyer had that brilliant 100 against India in one of the one-day matches there, and Shea Hope showing some consistent batting, and Nicolas Purian, who I think is the real deal, showing some consistency. What we need also from those players is a lift in their confidence with some wins, because we saw that they competed with India while they were in India. Yes, they weren't able to win the crucial matches, but they competed. We don't want a team that is competing anymore. We want a team that is winning, and we hope that these wins could build their confidence, taking them into some of the matches with stronger competition.
Yes, and as you know, winning is a habit.
It is.
So, you know, losing is also a habit.
Yeah.
So,
So they need to start developing
That's right.
at this stage. Here we see the action about to start again. At this time, there's a change in bowling from the southern end. So Colin Archibald has replaced Quinton Boatswain, and he's now going to run in left arm fast medium over the wicket, bowling ball darting into Leon Johnson, who just pushes it away to mid wicket area. The square leg fielder darts in and prevents the single. The square leg Peter being Jason Peters darts in and picks up smartly, preventing that single. So the Colin Archibald, who has been the only successful bowler for the Leeward Islands after he took the wicket of Chandapal Hemraj, is now operating from the southern end. And it seems as if, I don't know if I'm seeing right, but it seems as if he's bowling with a little bit more life than he was bowling earlier. I'll have to watch a bit more and see, but it seems as if he's running in with a little bit more life. I don't know. Is it the conditions?
so you're telling me he likes it cool then?
It probably is the conditions out there. But let's observe for a little bit more. But it appears that may be the case. Here we see now he's runs in, rhythmic stride, up, jumps, and he bowls again. Bowling, this one darting into the batsman. Now what we observed earlier is that he was getting the ball to shape away from the batsman. Now he's getting it now to continue straight on, and in some instances cut back into the batsman. And when we were off air earlier, we were discussing that idea. How is it that he's not able to get the ball to jog back into the left-handed batsman? And now we're seeing that happen. Here he is. He bowls over the wicket. It's a little wide of the off stump, and Johnson cuts it away to the cover region. The fielder there, I think it's Devon Thomas, misfield somewhat. I think he got his hand to it, but it beat him and went down to the cover area where the fielder ran around. It looks like Munson Hodge ran around to the deep cover position.
It's Jacobs.
Damian Jacobs, sorry, ran around to the deep cover position to pick up, and Johnson collected 2 runs off of that shot. Now we're seeing Johnson being extra productive off of that shot for the afternoon, and he continues to be productive.
Yeah, I think Devon Thomas should have stopped that. It was struck hard,
Yes.
but it was direct.
Directly to him. He
Exactly.
didn't have to move to his left or his right. Here we see again the bowler Kezron Archibald or Colin Archibald bowling in, and it's just on off stump again. Johnson stands up and plays defensively out to the cover region. No run recorded there. Johnson has not shown that he has had any difficulties out there batting at all. He seems quite comfortable, and as you know, he would have represented the West Indies at the highest level, at Test cricket level, so he is quite an accomplished batsman. And we see Colin Archibald again runs in and bowls, and this one is a little outside off stump, and Johnson elected to leave that one alone, watching that ball go through. I don't know, Anthony. What do you think of this first over back from Archibald? Does he look like he's bowling a little quicker than earlier on, or is it my imagination?
Yes, he really does, and his run up as well looks different.
More rhythmic,
yes,
right?
more rhythm in his run up approaching the crease. So I think maybe that's why he's getting a little bit more.
Probably he's getting a good win. And
Yes.
maybe what is happening now is that he is a little bit more confident.
Right.
Having taken a wicket earlier and fairly economical too, because his 8 overs have only cost him 13 runs. So I would say that he's bowling with a fair bit of economy, and he was able, when he came on early, he was able to cut down the run scoring and in the process take the wicket, or the only wicket so far that the Leewards have taken.
And this would not have been his first game. This would not have been his debut match for the Leeward Islands.
I'm not sure. We'll check that in a minute. Here we see Jace Taylor bowling to Chandapal again. He just stands up and pushes it out into the cover region. No run recorded there. So we're going to check the stats now, or check the information regarding Archibald. There we see Jace Taylor again bowling on the off stump and just pushing forward gently is Chandapal. Bowler runs around and fields to his own bowling, no run. Jace Taylor again in around the wicket. Again, seems like the same 3 players are coming into play. Jace Taylor, the bowler, Tajnarayan Chandapal, the batsman, and Devon Thomas, the extra cover fielder. So here he is again preparing, just waiting on Chandapal to settle before he runs in. So here comes Taylor into Chandapal, bowls. It's a little wide of the off stump and he cuts it away, but again deep cover or cover fielder comes into play.
Yeah, Vinci, and they would have moved the short leg to silly point.
Yes. Here we see Taylor again, and this time he pushes it away to the offside, and Damien Jacobs runs around. Jakes Taylor runs around and picks up to his old bowling. He comes back to his mark and he runs in just about 3 or 4 steps before he bowls the batsman. Again, it's short and a bit outside off stump, and he plays it away to the deep point position. Another dot ball, and the end of the over. Guyana Jaguars are now 116 for the loss of 1 wicket. Tajnarayan Chandapal on 22. Leon Johnson on 35 not out.
Yes, what I don't understand there with Jakes Taylor, that particular over, he would have asked the skipper to move the short leg to silly point. But then when the silly point goes in now, here is it that he's bowling short outside the off stump.
Yes.
I don't see the logics behind that.
It would have been a good opportunity for him to flight the ball a little.
Exactly, and
He
ask
could
the batsman
extract a
to
little
come
more
forward.
points. Yes, I do agree.
Yes.
And you were asking about Colin Archibald, also known as Kezron. So those of you who know him as Kezron, it is the same individual. He's starting his new over now. First delivery, short outside the off stump, and Johnson cuts it away towards the point boundary, and I think that that was a poor effort by Casey Carty to stop that ball. He gave up long before he got to the boundary, and he and the ball got to the boundary rope just about the same time. I don't understand what's the motive. The Leeward Islands fielders looking quite flat out there, and I think it was a poor effort on his part to chase down that ball. However, it's to the benefit of the batsman, and he has picked up another 4 runs. Again, that cut shot being very productive for Leon Johnson.
Yes, and Casey Carty just taking a walk in the park there.
It appears as if he was. In goes Archibald to Johnson again, short outside the off stump again, and this time Casey Carty runs around to his left and fields. However, it was a little easier for him this time, because after his poor effort, the captain placed him on the deep point boundary for the purpose of that particular shot. The batsman ran single, so Johnson collects a single. He moves on to 41, and as we have said throughout the broadcast, that that cut shot has been quite productive for Leon Johnson and continues to be so.
Yes, and Keswan needs to get back to his first over.
Yes.
First over he bowled in
Where
his
the
new
ball
spell,
was-
he needs to get
Yes.
back to that sort of line and length.
Certainly agree with you. In goes Archibald, and this one just outside the off stump, shaping away from the left-handed batsman. This time the batsman being Chandapal, goes through to the keeper, no run there, and this is a bit closer to the line that we would prefer to see him bowl. But quite a much better adjustment to what he did in the first 2 deliveries of that over.
Yes, and he needs to keep that length. He needs to be consistent in that particular area.
Yes, he needs to. And as we said, he is bowling with a little bit more pace than he was earlier in the game. There he is, just outside off stump. This one seemed to have a little extra bounce on it, and Chandapal reached up and just played it away to the cover region. So another dot ball, and Archibald, after those first 2 deliveries, continues to be quite economical, keeping the runs down to, as I told you earlier also, his first 8 overs cost him just 13 runs. So far, he has bowled 4 balls in this over. In he goes this time, another full-length delivery just outside off stump, and again Chandapal elects to leave this one alone, another dot ball. So he has bowled 8.5 overs, or 8 overs and 5 balls, and has only conceded 19 runs, while being the lone wicket taker for the Leewards.
Yes, and the Leewards needs to start getting some more wickets, at least one before dinner or lunch, as we would really say.
In goes Archibald now, runs away from us, delivers again. This one just shaping up with a slight away movement, but again Chandapal comes across and just pushes it away to the cover region, and it's no run. It's also the end of the over, and the Guyana Jaguars are now 121 for the loss of 1 wicket. Tajnarayan Chandapal is on 22, and Leon Johnson is on 48. 41, and 48 overs have already been bowled, and both of these batsmen have featured in a 51-run partnership. So you can see that Leon Johnson definitely has been dominating the scoring in this partnership. The next person that you will hear on commentary will be Denmore Roberts.
And Sandra Paul continues to build a marathon innings here as Denmore joins the team. Leon Johnson coming in after Chandra Paul has led the scoring in 51 with 41, and Chandra Paul on 22.
It's been a patient innings from Tajnarayan Chandapal, and I know that there are going to be some folks that think that he's been batting in excess of 2 hours and he's only scored 22 runs, but it's the type of innings you want when you have 4 days of cricket to play. You want somebody to be able to be patient, also to be able to occupy the crease. I think though he needs to turn over the strike a little bit more. He's facing to This delivery from Taylor around the wicket. He's playing defensively just outside the line of the off stump. The wicketkeeper Jamal Hamilton fields, and there is no run. Taylor getting through his overs pretty quickly. He's in once more to Shonda Paul, who is hitting this one over the top of the long on region, and it has gone. As a matter of fact, it's Johnson who has hit this one for 6. He was pitched right up to him by Jakes Taylor, and he was launching into it, hit it over the top of the mid-on region and over the long-on boundary for 6 runs.
Yes, the fieldmen are right up, and he got that one nice within his arch and just struck it powerfully over the ropes for 6. Well played.
He faces once more as he's getting a delivery outside the line of the off stump from Taylor. One that bounces a little bit into the gloves of Captain Jamal Hamilton, the wicketkeeper, and there is no run. The end of the over has come up. It's 127, 127 for 1.
Yes, and Johnson looking quite dangerous out there for the Leeward Islands. The bowling seems pretty tame. Not too many demons in the pitch. It looks very, very flat. The fielders, if you were to judge from the effort from young Catty a while ago, they don't seem to have that sort of exuberance that you need to encourage yourself out there. They're very, very flat. They need some excitement, some encouragement. And Johnson is taking advantage of it. And if they don't get their act together, they could see a big one from Johnson.
Archibald continues. He's in, and this delivery on the line of the off stump, one that just was rising a little bit, and the left-handed Tajnarine Shandapal plays it defensively into the offside field, and there is no run. So he still has 2 slips in place and a gully. Then there is a man at backward point. Cover is short, extra cover mid-off. A man at straight mid-wicket and the man down on the long leg boundary. So Archibald, left-handed fast medium bowler. He's left arm over the wicket to the left-handed Shandapal. He's pushing this one up on the onside, can't score. The fielder who is in that mid-wicket position just trots around to a mid-on position, stops the ball effectively with his feet, and there is no run. So quiet batting from Shandapal, a little bit more explosive from Johnson. We also saw aggression from Hemraj, who opened the batting earlier with Tajnarine Shandapal. Small crowd in attendance as Archibald is in, and this delivery again is turned away on the onside into the mid-wicket region. This time it goes straight to the fielder standing at that straightish mid-wicket position, and there is no run.
And Chandrapal has been playing pretty square on over the last 2 overs. He early on in his innings, he seemed a lot more side on, playing technically a lot better. We're seeing him squaring up quite a bit, maybe a little bit more movement from the fast bowler late this evening.
Archibald is in, and this time he's looking to cut it away, doesn't time it, hits it to that man standing at deep point, and there is no run. So still a little bit of passive, a little bit of aggression somewhat from the captain with the field placement, still maintaining the 2 slips, striving for that second wicket. The Guyana team, they would be very happy with their position so far, 127 for 1. Archibald is in, and again that brings the left-handed Shandapal into a defensive stroke, just pushes it back along the pitch for the bowler to field to his own bowling, and there is no run.
They're going at a 2.8 per over clip, a run rate that's not scaring the skipper by any means. They're not scoring very quickly. The wickets are not falling, but they're not scoring very quickly. So he's doing the right thing by attacking. He needs to get some wickets.
Archibald is in, and this delivery, the batsman is getting on top of it, was playing with a flat bat, the ball hitting high up on the bat and going into the short extra cover region, and there's no run. Brings up the end of the over, the end of another over. It's 127 for 1. Guyana winning the toss and batting first.
Yes, and as I was saying, the Leeward Islands skipper is no doubt trying to ensure that he gets a second wicket as early as possible this evening. I think this left-arm seamer here, Archibald, is giving some trouble to Chandra Paul, who's playing pretty square on. If you start doing that and the ball darts around a little bit, you could be in some trouble. So there's a little bit of hope there. But apart from us seeing Chandra Paul squaring up a bit, there isn't that much happening. So keeping an attacking field is a strategy that the skipper is attempting to motivate his bowlers and keep them interested.
We just saw Hamilton having a chat with Taylor, who bowls his first delivery of a new over, played defensively by Johnson into the offside field, and there was no run. So the field for Taylor, he has a slip in place. There's also a man at silly point as he's in outside the line of the off stump. The bail is removed, question asked, not out, says the umpire. He has a man also at backward point, then cover is square, short extra cover, mid off, mid on, a man at straightish mid wicket, and then a man down at deep backward square. Here is he in, and this delivery again played defensively by Johnson. Almost copycat is what we saw in the last over, so maybe about the third or fourth over, we should, for delivery, we should see Johnson probably looking to play an attacking stroke. He's defensive once more this time. The ball drops on the onside. Wicketkeeper Hamilton moves from behind the stumps, does the fielding, and there is no run. Taylor quickly back to his mark, stands, then just walks in, and he's in. And Johnson is driving hard, but probably into the pads of the field at that silly point position. The Leeward Islands team, they look a little bit concerned. They thought that might have been a chance for Johnson as he was really pushing at that one. Went quickly to the fielder at that silly point position, and in the end, no damage done.
Yes, they thought they had an opportunity there, and Johnson lives on.
Would have been a sharp chance to Peters. Taylor is in once more, this time outside the line of the off stump. The ball pitching and turning away from the left-handed Leon Johnson, who just watches it as it goes into the gloves of Captain Jamal Hamilton, and there is no run. The end of a maiden over bowled by Jake Taylor. At the end of it, Guyana Jaguars remain on 127 for 1.
It's good position for a batting team on the first day of a 4-day match. You have not lost too many wickets. You have 127. You have West Indies player out there in Johnson, and he's batting well, looks very comfortable, not much bothering him. And if they continue like this, I think the Leewards could be in for quite a challenge here from this Jaguar team. They do tend to pile on the runs when they get an opportunity, and the type of bowling that we see and the quality of the pitch suggests that this could be a dominant batting performance from the Jaguar team.
Damien Jacobs is back on. He's coming from the Sir Curtly Ambrose end, which is the northern end here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, as the light continues to take more effect. They play with the pink ball in this 4-day day-night encounter. This delivery, one that is pitched right up to the left-handed batsman in Chandra Paul. He's just reaching forward and playing it defensively. The ball rolls into the short extra cover region, and there was no run. Jacobs was not necessarily looked very penetrative today. He's been steady but not penetrative, and we've not really seen anything to suggest a wicket coming from the Leeward Islands. This delivery is turned away. He's going to get a single as it goes out to deep backward square leg. The fielder who is on the boundary comes in, does the fielding, and one more to Chandra Paul. One more to the Guyana Jaguars. Total 128 it is for 1. And Chandra Paul moves on to 23. 47 is Leon Johnson, who is now in strike. Watches as Jacobs just walks in, right arm over the wicket to Johnson, and Johnson gets a delivery that is just straightening on him, and he just stands tall and plays it with a defensive bat. Wasn't trying to score on that occasion, just blocked the ball back along the pitch for the bowler to field to his own bowling, and there is no run. Jacobs back to his mark and in. outside the line of the off stump. That looked to have been an attempted googly. That one seemed to have gone the other way. The batsman read it cleanly and just watched it as it went into the gloves of Hamilton. No run. Jacobs walks in once more. He's in, and he's literally on the crease with both feet, Leon Johnson, but playing with a defensive bat as the ball rolls back along the pitch and the bowler feels his own bowling, and there is no run. 128 it is for one. Johnson on 47 gets one outside the line of the off stump, and he cuts and he gets just a single as the fielder, that looks to be Archibald, who comes across, picks it up with his left hand, which is his natural arm, and just limits the batsman to just a single. 129 for one at the end of the over. Shonda Paul on 23, Johnson on 48.
Yes, regrettably, I'm sure Johnson would have felt that he didn't cash in on that one. It was a pretty loose delivery. It was wide enough that he could have wind himself up and get the backlift coming down much harder, but he placed it too close to Archibald, and Archibald and the other fielder was way up. Had it gone between them, it would have been 4 runs, and not good use of a very poor delivery, but the Leewards got away with that one as well.
Certainly did, as he's now facing, as Jake Taylor will continue outside the line of the off stump. Read it early, just pushes that right pad at it, allows it to bounce into the gloves of Jamal Hamilton, and again there is no run. The slip go down. It's just one man at slip, and he's reaching forward, this time getting back to ball and playing it defensively back along the pitch on the offside where the bowler feels on his follow through, and there is no run. He's in once more, Taylor, and again the batsman not looking to score, just looking to play defensively. The ball dropped on the offside, goes to Devon Thomas, who is standing at that short extra cover position, and again there is no run. He's in and he's trying to cut this one away. Is Johnson. The ball is running away down to the third man region, and probably more of a backward point region, and he comes back for 2 and gets to his 50. So 50 for Leon Johnson. Well played by the Guyana captain.
Yes, well played. He's come in a little over an hour ago, and he's been batting quite well. He looks very comfortable, competent. He's a West Indies player. He's showing his class out there and dominating a very tame Leeward's bowling.
Faces once more, as this time he's forcing it off the back foot but into the cover region where the fielder is posted, and there is no run. So he's coming, and he would be happy getting a half century win the first game of the season. This time he's forward and driving out to the mid-off region, has to go through for a quick single, gets it in the end. The fielder at that mid-on position, I thought that the ball had gone further because the Leon Johnson took off. The fielder was very lethargic in moving for that one, and the batsmen were able to scamper a single with a ball that just ran straight to the mid-on fielder. It was amazing. That fielder just didn't look interested.
Yes, and that was the reason that Johnson took him on, because he wasn't attacking the ball. When you are a young cricketer and they're teaching you to field, there are a couple of things that you're taught. You attack the ball. You don't sit back and wait for the ball to come to you. You approach it, and in doing so, you put pressure on the batsman. But if the batsmen are noticing that you're not pressuring the ball, you're not attacking at all, then if they push it to you, they're going to take a single. And it was a sharp, cheeky single, a little risky, but in the end it proved to be low risk because the fielder just didn't seem interested in giving himself and his team a chance here.
Damien Jacobs was that fielder who was at that mid-on position. He's going to come into bowl now. He just didn't look interested because the ball was pushed up on the inside, was going straight to him at short mid-on, and the batsman decided, you know what, we're going to go for the single since he's not interested. He's in and bowling to Johnson, and Johnson is beaten by a good delivery. Probably gave him the benefit of playing inside the line, but he was both feet again were trapped on that crease. He looks ugly when he gets both feet together on that crease, but he survives. Here is he facing, and he's this time coming forward and reaching for the ball and playing it square of the wicket. The fielder at square cover comes into effect, and there is no run. Small crowd on hand, just a sprinkling of spectators. If you're in Antigua and you want to watch some cricket and you have nothing to do, you couldn't come up to the stadium and take in some of this match. This delivery is played away down on the offside, and there is no run. You chuckled when I said a sprinkling of spectators.
You said a small crowd, and there's no small crowd.
There's a sprinkling of, I should say, a sprinkling of spectators. One or two we can see from where we're located. This delivery pushed away in the offside, no run.
A crowd is a group of people, grouping of people.
Are you suggesting that you can count the number of fans that are watching? Here we're watching is the few fans who have come out. Here they're taking a quick single, and they're going to get it in the end again, slowly after mark, where was the Leeward Islands fielder. This time looks to be Sheena Berridge, who was slow after mark, and the batsmen were able to scamper through for that single. Yes. So one more run to the Guyana Jaguars total. It's now continuing to build. It's on 133 for 1. 133 for 1 as the batsman faces now as Jacobs is in, and they're playing it up on the. It was an inadvertent stroke. He was looking to play it on the onside, probably took a leading edge, and the ball came up to the mid-on region, all along the ground, and they were able to come through for a run. So one more to the total. It's now on to 134 for 1 at the end of the over.
And Jacobs bowled a beauty. The first delivery was bowled to Leon Johnson. It beat him all ends up. He pretended to have been playing inside the line. He didn't. He was beating all ends up. And the ball missed the edge as Hamilton took it behind the stumps, wishing that he had gotten an edge. Since then, however, we saw Jacobs not being able to reproduce a delivery of that ilk, and continue to play a bowl, I think, in a manner that's just hoping that the batsman makes a mistake. However, when he bowled the last delivery to Chandrapal, we saw Chandrapal squaring up in a manner that suggests that they're staying well within the crease. The spin bowlers are bowling so slow, the pitch is turning so slowly that they're keeping their legs inside the crease, and that's indicative of the slow nature of the pitch. So the spinners are going to have to learn how to flight a little bit and vary the length a bit to try to see how they can fox this batsman out.
We'll see if Taylor can do that. He is in this delivery. Johnson is driving, but straight to the fielder at cover, and there is no run. That one had a little bit more flight in it. Taylor starting his 19th over so far. He's had 18.1 overs, 9 maidens, 33 runs, no wicket. That's his figures so far. And you tend to think that in this game that Jake Taylor is going to have to do a lot of bowling himself and Damien Jacobs, because the pitch doesn't seem to have too much for the faster bowlers. We didn't see anything to suggest assistance for Sheena Berridge and for Archibald. Here is this delivery played away out into the onside field, and there is no run. So Jamal Hamilton, Kieran Powell, Devon Thomas, Sheena Berridge. This delivery is again played defensively. Damien Jacobs, Casey Carty, Munson Hodge, Jason Peters, Quinton Boatswain, Jake Taylor, and Colin Archibald. Those are the players. Is this delivery outside the line of the off stump, played and missing? Oohs and ahs go up from the Leeward Islands. So opportunity there. The ball going past the outer edge of the bat of Chandrapal. He was really pushing at that one, missing it though. Taylor is back to his mark, and then Chandapal just pulls away, wasn't quite ready, as he's been there for a while, probably just trying to refocus after seemed to have been in some sort of trouble his last two deliveries. Here is he just forcing this one up on the inside, and the fielder fields to his own bowling and his follow through, and there is no run. So we're almost at the end of Taylor's 19th over. This final delivery is played defensively into the silly mid-off region, and there is no run. Brings up the end of another over. At the end of it, the score is on 134 for 1. After more thoughts from Darwin Telemac, it's going to be Jack Matthew.
Yes, and there was a few interesting moments in that over, as Taylor, who appears to be the stock bowler, he's bowled now 19 overs. He's going to have to put in some sweat and toil here. The skipper is not going to have too much fireworks from his quickies, so he's going to have to rely on his spinners. Like I said, the pitch is slow turning. They're going to have to vary the flight and the length, and let's hope that they can learn how to do that quickly.
So Damien Jacobs is in, and the batsman there, Johnson, not quite offering a stroke, and the wicketkeeper brought into the play, Jamal Hamilton. Remains on 134 for 1, so a very solid start by Guyana. Turned away, at least he attempts to turn that ball away down to the fine leg area. Johnson not been able to get that onto the ball, and it's kept by the wicketkeeper, Hamilton, who is leading the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. They're badly in need of a wicket here, as Damien Jacobs, one of the franchise players in the Leeward's Hurricane side. He's from Jamaica. This ball is driven through the offside, and it has gone away for 4. Exquisite stroke by Leon Johnson. He was up outside the line of the off stump, and he launched himself into a cover drive, and the ball went speedily away down to the western side of the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Johnson pushes on. It's 138 now for 1.
Well played by Johnson. He's starting to flight the ball a whole lot more as Jacobs, and I'm sure we may see that from Taylor. If they're going to bowl quick and flat, the batsmen are going to stand back in their creases, and nothing's going to happen. They have to give themselves some chances. That shot went for 4, but that's exactly what he has to keep doing.
He's on to 56. Jacobs is in, the leg spinner, and he clips the ball away, but he can't beat the fielder, the bowler, following through, and has to scurry back into his crease. He was looking there to advance up the pitch, probably to get a single, looking to hit it deepish towards Bunsin Hodge at that mid-on position. He's back to this delivery, just stands up straight and allows the ball to come onto the face of the bat, and it goes away into the offside. He's on 56. 24 is the pedestrian, Tajnarain Chandapal, but he doesn't seem to be upset by his slow scoring. Backs up at the non-striker's end, and here is Johnson coming forward, turns it away towards the mid-wicket area, and Devon Thomas is there to do the fielding. The over comes to an end, an over of leg spin from Damien Jacobs, and the Guyana Jaguars continuing to play well. They're 138 for 1. Leon Johnson, the captain, is on 56, and Tajnarain Chandapal on 24. Johnson got his 50 of 93 deliveries, 108 minutes, and he struck 7 fours and 1 6. And in Chandrapal Hemraj's knock of 52, he was the batsman dismissed when the score was on 70. He faced 60 deliveries, batted for 91 minutes, hit 6 fours and 2 sixes. So solid start, Darwin, by Guyana.
Yes, and the Hemraj batted very well, very positive. He batted along with Chandrapal, who's been out there pushing the balls around, but he was very confident and comfortable in striking the ball, and Johnson has continued along that line.
So we're watching the bowling of and this is hit away down towards the mid-on position. It's going very, very close to the boundary. I think it has been flicked back. Yes, it has. And they will now scurry back for the third run. The bowler who is on is Powell, Kyron Powell, operating from the Sir Vivian Richards, from the Sandy Roberts end here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. So he's having his first bowl of the innings. Did quite a bit of bowling in the Super 50 competition for the Leeward Hurricanes, and did bowl with a fair degree of success as well. So he's on his way to bowl to Johnson, and Johnson is back and caresses the ball down towards the backward point area. Can't get a run there. Ball picked up by Casey Carty. Here is Kyron Powell, and this ball is fullish length, and the batsman is just gently onto the front foot, and it goes slowly out to Devon Thomas, lurking at the extra cover position. The score remains at 141 for 1. He's bowling around the wicket, and the batsman is back to this delivery. It makes a little bit of height, just a bit of bounce there for the tall Kyron Powell, but Johnson had it covered, and he steered it away down to Carty at backward point. He's again, and this ball is pulled away, and it beats the fielder, diving fielder at mid-wicket, and it has gone away for, well, it's stopped by the fielder moving around from the mid-wicket area, and that looks to be Kezron Archibald moving around there, and he made the save, and the batsmen are back for the second.
Yes, and in this instance, they may have thought it was 4 because it didn't run very well.
We're watching Powell, and Johnson will get more as he whips the ball away down to the backward square area. He gets one on this occasion, and that was the last ball of the over. So Guyana continuing to build a solid first innings total here. They're 144 for 1. With Tajnarain Chandrapal on 27, started with Chandrapal Hemraj. They put on 70 for the first wicket, and Leon Johnson on 59, going particularly well.
Yes, and Skipper Hamilton has some thinking to do. It's evening time here in Antigua. The lights are on, but this is a young game. It's just started. This would be the commencement of the second session in a normal day's play. So that might be a psychological thing here. It's not that long the game started, and the Leeward Islands have to understand there's a long way to go in this game. They can't let their guards down and start feeling despondent. The game is still wide open. They have to keep fighting.
And this is the first one of 3 games to start the season, the regional first-class season. Here is a wayward delivery from the leg spinner Damien Jacobs down the leg side, and there was Johnson having a swing at it, not being able to make contact, the wicketkeeper having to go some distance down the leg side to take that. Here is a ball which is a much better delivery, in line with just about off stump, and the batsman covers up very careful in his defense, and the ball rolls away towards the point area, and Archibald is there to do the fielding. It remains at 144 for 1. Here is Jacobs, and this one is given a bit of flight, and the batsman is forward driving Johnson, but can't beat the scrambling fielder coming around there. In fact, it maybe just eluded him, perhaps hitting his hands and deflecting away, going to Sheena Berridge at mid-off, but there was no run. That was Casey Carty moving around from cover, extra cover, and another delivery ends up at the short flying leg area as the batsman Johnson went back and tried to force that off the back foot. So he remains on 59, and it's 144 for 1. Johnson is getting a good delivery in line with the stumps and plays an immaculate defensive shot. So he's leading from in front here with his batting performance, Johnson. All spin attack at the moment as Damien Jacobs runs away from us, and here is Johnson not offering a shot. A loud appeal, and Verdin Smith, the umpire, says not out. And Damien Jacobs felt he had him on that occasion, was offering a shot. And the ball would be spinning back into the left-hander because of the leg spinner bowling to the left-handed batsman. He wasn't offering a shot on that occasion. And once you're not offering a shot, and the judgment of the umpire that the ball would have come back to hit the stumps, he has the right to give you out. But Verdin Smith saw it the other way, and he said not out.
That was way outside the line of the out stump. I think Jacobs better be careful. He might have a little chat with the match referee here. He kind of went a little bit overboard with it. Clearly, Johnson picked up the line. It was way outside the off stump. The ball pitched way outside the off stump. It may have turned back in, but at that point, the umpire was quite confident that that was never going to be given out.
And he's no Shane Warne. Here is Kyron Powell, and the ball is flicked at, just hitting the short leg fielder there, and it's the wicket keeper, Jamar Hamilton. Perhaps the short leg fielder was hit on the helmet. They're now examining the helmet to make sure all is well. That is Jason Peters there lurking at the short leg position. It was flicked away by Chandapal. Now looks to settle over his bat. Square on stance, feet apart, and the batsman just stands up straight. Allows the ball to come onto his erect bat, and he goes away towards extra cover. Devon Thomas is there to do the fielding. No addition to the score. And here is again going back to this delivery, looking to hit with more power on this occasion, trying to get runs, and ball going quickly down to Kezron Archibald at that. In fact, yes, Kezron Archibald at that mid-on position, and there is no run. And the batsman is standing up straight again, allows the ball to come onto the face of the bat. So one of three matches on the way to start the 2020 regional first class season. Trinidad and Tobago 240 for 3 in that match against Jamaica Scorpions at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Trinidad. Defensive shot from Chandrapal. He goes on the onside of the pitch for Kyron Powell, the bowler, to do the fielding. He comes in around the wicket, bowling off breaks, and the batsman allows the last ball of the over to go by outside the line of the off stump. And in the other game, Barbados doing well to recover. 233 they got in the end after at one stage they were 70 odd for 7, and that was led by a century. The recovery was spearheaded by a century from Kyle Mayers, and we saw him batting in the regional Super 50, and he was really on fire as well in that competition, and he had a good partnership. 114 with Jomel Warrican, who got into the 40s.
Would you say the veteran Kyle Mayers? He's been around for a while, and has been coming on to his own. Good knock.
Here is the first ball of a new over from Damian Jacobs, and clipped away towards backward square. Goes out to Jace Taylor, another spinner in the Leeward Hurricanes lineup. Had a long ball from the far end early on. Batsman is going back, and again out towards the backward square position. Taylor again to do the work. So where is the next wicket going to come from for the Leewards? As Damian Jacobs tries, he's in, and he's beaten by this delivery. Loud.
So she's on her way up.
Let's go down. Who's she?
The lady. Give me a number. See in case Minister she. Sharp.
So I think she'll come from Redonda with him. Examine what day.
Yeah.
She affected by the rats. The rats got in every day.
And the super mosquitoes that tear through jeans pants. I've only heard of it and I've not experienced it. I don't wish to experience it. I really don't. Oh boy.
Then they're coming back out.
They left 6:30. To 7? Yeah, they're coming. No. Yeah, they're gonna get ready.
Is Vincent and me and that? So now? So they are go.
Yeah, so Leeward.
Darwin, not them, Darwin.
Galway.
And he may finish?
And you Galway, come back.
Yeah, see you come.
Hey, you guys can turn on those mics for a second, please. Let me see if they pick it up. Turn them on. Okay, they're picking up. Turn on that one, please. Test.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we can. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Check the mic again. Let me see something, please. Yeah, just.
Testing.
Okay, we're good. Just want to make sure. The last time. Okay, you guys want to start now or wait until they reach on the pitch? Okay, no problem.
Still got to still do one time. Yeah, the side still catch up on thing.
Okay, we start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're there.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are broadcasting live from the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Grounds here at the North Sound area in Antigua and Barbuda, where the Leeward Islands are playing against Leeward Islands Hurricanes, playing against the Guyana Jaguars in this West Indies 4-day regional tournament match. So far, the Guyana Jaguars won the toss and elected to bat, and they are presently not out, presently at 147 for the loss of 2 wickets. The not out batsmen being Tajnaran Chandapur, who has been there from the start on 27, having faced 182 balls, and Vishwa Singh, who is on 3. He just came in just before the break when we saw the dismissal of Leon Johnson for 59. Earlier, the first batsman to go was Chandapur Hemorrhage, who made 50 from 60 deliveries. The Guyana Jaguars have built up quite a good score, 147 feet, even though it's been slow going. However, at this moment, they would be considered to be in front or having the advantage in this game simply because they've only lost 2 wickets and they have put on 147 runs. However, the Leewards in the second session looked rather strong. They looked a lot better than they did in the first session. And maybe they are gaining strength and gaining momentum throughout this match. It seemed as if as the atmosphere got a little cooler and the sun went beyond the horizon, the Leewards were somewhat more energetic. And in that last hour, half hour before the break, it appeared as if the spin bowlers, especially Damien Jacobs, started to cause some trouble for the Guyanese batsmen. Your thoughts, Anthony?
Well, for me, I think the Leewards in their second 2 hours, after they would have played their first 2 hours, they weren't all that. And then in the second 2 hours now, at the end, they were a bit, vibesy, as we would say.
More energy.
Yeah, more energy, So I don't know if it would be better here than the second.
Well, we start the resumption now, and we see Sheeno Berridge starting the attack from the southern end. And his first delivery to Visual Singh was driven back past him on the offside of the pitch for 2 runs, and driven down the ground. Now, full-length delivery, driven down the ground. Good shot. Not with a lot of power, but he was able to pick up 2 runs to start the scoring in this third session.
Yeah, that was some good timing there from the youngster, just pushing it back past the bowler and just picking up 2 runs.
Yes, and as you may have known, the Visual Singh played for the West Indies some years ago as an opening batsman. Here is Berridge again bowling to Visual Singh, just a little outside off stump, and he strokes it to a short cover position where Devon Booby Thomas fields, and he has the ball there doing a bit of cosmetic work on the ball before he relays it to the mid-off fielder to get it back to Sheeno Berridge.
Yes, and this is a good ploy here from the Leeward Islands, giving Sheeno Berridge, who is a strike bowler, the opportunity to bowl at the new batsman.
Yes, I certainly agree. And he comes again, he bowls to Singh, and this one is just outside off stump, beating him. I don't know if he intended to pull his bat inside the line, but it looked as if he was beaten, and that ball started to curl back into the batsman also. We see when Jamal Hamilton collected it, he was somewhat away down the leg side, even though the ball beat the batsman outside the off stump.
Yes.
We see them employing 2 slips, a gully, a point, a cover, a mid-off, a mid-on, a square leg, forward square leg, and a deep backward square leg for the bowling of Sheeno Berridge. So let's see if that delivery is a sign of things to come. In comes Berridge to Singh. Again, this one is outside off stump and going away from the batsman this time, going away a bit low, and the batsman elects not to play a shot. I think it would be important for the bowlers to ask the batsmen to play a bit more, because the more they play at the delivery, then the better their opportunities are at getting a wicket.
Yes, and you're so right with that, and I like the feel that the Leeward Island skipper have given to Sheeno Berridge here.
In comes Berridge, and he bowls over the wicket again, and this time this one is above the middle stump line, and Visual Singh just works it away gingerly towards the square leg, forward square leg region. Again, no run scored. So far it's been tight going by Sheeno Berridge, except for his first delivery, which was driven away for 2 runs past him. However, he has elected to not bowl as full as that first delivery and has caused the batsman a bit of a little concern, if I should say so. In he comes again. This time he's over the wicket, and this one is a little outside off stump. He drives, not fluently, but he drives it away to mid-off, and that brings up the end of the over. Another dot ball, end of the over by Berridge, and here we see the fielders now changing over quickly for the next over after the break.
Yes, a good over there from Sheeno Berridge. Good over to start the session. What Sheeno Berridge don't want to do is to get too straight with the sort of field placement he has. majority of the guys are on the offside. So you don't really want to get too straight, so the batsman would work you off into the onside and get an easy run. So, it's for him to be consistent. He has started well, and it's for him to continue in that vein.
Yes, and he just needs also to be patient, work with his plan, be patient, and yes, attack, but allow the batsman also to make the mistake and give himself an opportunity for a wicket. Here we see Damian Jacobs. He is also going to continue after the break. He had a very good spell just before the break, and at one time I thought he could have taken a wicket when a ball was looped up over his head. Here he is, first delivery to Chandapal, it looks like. And he just reaches forward a full-length delivery and pushes it back up the pitch to the bowler. In comes Jacobs again, bowls, and this one is just about on the leg stump line. And Chandapal works it away to the short square leg position. Again, another dot ball. And he has soaked up quite a number of dot balls. I think this would be his 184th dot ball. He has only scored 27 runs. Oh, this one is a little quicker delivery, just about the off stump line. And again, he works it away behind square. Again, another dot ball. And as much as you must commend the ability to block the bowlers, I cannot say it is not enough for him to block the bowlers. He has to find a way to rotate the strike a little bit more. In comes Jacobs again to Chandapal, another full-length delivery, and he just reaches forward and pushes it just a little bit on the offside. The bowler retrieves off of his own bowling, walks back to his mark, and he turns. So the lights are on in their full glory. Again, Jacobs, this one another flighted delivery to Chandapal. He pushes it again, back up the track. Jacobs fields to his own bowling, goes back to his mark. Jacobs again, taking about 3 steps before this one had a bit of turn, and he was looking to give himself some room and force it away outside to the offside, and that ball cut back at him sharply, and it cramped him for room, only able to push it away to the offside. And again, another dot ball, another maiden over by Jacobs, who has bowled 8 overs, bowled 4 maidens, and only 9 runs have been scored off of him while getting the wicket of Leon Johnson.
Yes, another good over there from the spinner there in Jacobs. Yes, he's bowling a real nice line and length, especially to Chandapal.
Yes, and he's also asking questions, and Chandapal, that last delivery, you could see he was cramped for room, and it could have been a dangerous delivery. Here we see Tino Berridge continuing from the southern end, and that one pitches just about off stump and moves away from the batsman. So earlier in his first over, we saw him pitching one about that same line and bringing it into the left-handed batsman, and now we see this one going away from the batsman. Now, if he can mix up the movement of his deliveries, he can start having that batsman, Vijay Singh, or even Chandapal, second-guessing themselves in terms of whether they should play or whether they should not play. Here he is, coming in from the south end again. Oh, yes, and this one is edged.
4 runs.
And it looks like it beat the second slip fielder, or it went between the second and first slip fielder down to the boundary for 4 runs. But this is not a bad thing for Shino Berridge, because even though it cost him 4 runs, it invited a foul shot, and it went between the slip fielders. Yes, it did go along the ground.
Slip on the gully.
Yes,
between the slip and the gully.
Okay.
To the left of the second slip.
Right. It went all along the ground, yes, but it invited a foul stroke. And if Shino Berridge can continue inviting those foul strokes, one may eventually go to slip or go to hand.
Yes, and that's what you would get when you hear you bowl just outside the off stump consistently. What I think the skipper needs to do now is to put the gully into a third slip and ask Shino Berridge to bowl that same line and length.
Exactly. And he comes this time. It's a little outside off stump, and he reaches for it. It appears as if he may have gotten an on the edge, which came back at the wicket keeper on his right-hand side, and he did a very good job of stopping it and ensuring that no further runs were scored.
Yes, and if you notice with Singh, he's much more aggressive. So if you bowl him consistently just outside the off stump, you may just nick him off going down to the slips because he's attacking and he's going after the deliveries just outside the off stump.
Exactly, and the fact that he wants to play shots gives the bowler an opportunity also. And he comes this time, it's a little outside off stump, he comes across and he just gently taps it down the crease. And the bowler feels to his own bowling. As a matter of fact, he leaves it on the pitch for the fielder to pick up as he walks back to his mark. I see the umpires signaling to each other. It seems to be a thing in international cricket where they signal to each other at the fourth delivery just to indicate that whether they are both on the same page. So they have signaled, the one receiving, the umpire receiving the signal at the square leg has confirmed that they are both on track. In comes Berridge to sing again just outside the off stump, this time singing legs to play, not to play, ball pitching and leaving him away from the off stump.
Yes, with Singh, pertaining to the bowling of Sheena Berridge, I think he could be a little bit fuller with Singh just outside the off stump. You know, ask him to drive because he wants to drive.
Not only a little fuller, but also maybe a little closer to the off stump, because he has elected to leave alone that ball simply because it was a little too wide.
Right.
And he comes again this time to Singh, and it's yes, that one is closer, and Singh this time just, instead of executing the drive, he just gently pushed it back up on the offside of the pitch. No run resulting, and this brings up the end of the over. Another testing over from Sheena Berridge, and even though that 4 was scored, it was scored off of a foul shot that went between through the slip cordon.
Yes, as a bowler, you would be happy if a batsman would score runs off you through the slip cordon, you know, because that would have been a risky shot.
Well,
you know, so
not necessarily happy, but encouraged.
well, I wouldn't have a problem. You know, that's something that you wouldn't really have a problem with. So,
Right.
you know, you would feel happy.
You feel like you have had some sort, you've defeated the batsman.
Exactly.
Right.
Because he wasn't in full control.
Yes.
So you would appreciate that.
Yes. So here we see a new over, Damien Jacobs again, and this time he's being driven to the offside, and the batsman, this one bisects the cover and the mid-off fielder. The mid-off fielder eventually coming around to his right and picking up the fielding the ball, but in the meantime, Chandapal was able to run for a single. Here comes Jacobs, and this time Singh comes down the track. Gets it on the half volley and drives, but only to mid-off, so there's no run. So at the moment, Chandapal is now on to 26? And Singh is on 9. Here we see a ball from Jacobs, played away to deep mid-wicket by Vijay Singh. He gets a single. And so the batsman cross, they're rotating the strike now. And single to Singh takes him up to 10, takes him into double figures. Here we see Jacobs running in just about 2 steps before he bows, and bows a ball just outside the off stump to Chandapal. Coming back into him, but he forces it away to the cover region. Casey Carty runs around quickly and fields, and there's no run again. See Singh again, 1, 2, 3 steps, and then he runs in. Oh, another ball outside off stump, and he's getting some turn out there. This one kept a bit low, and he tried to dab it away into the offside. He has to be careful because that could have easily come off the inside edge and gone on to his stumps. So Chandapal living a bit dangerously now. Looks like he's trying to score a bit more. This one is straighter delivery, more on middle and off, and this time he just pushes it away to the silly mid-on, who collects, and again it's the end of another over. Overs are going through quite quickly by Jacobs.
Yes, and you must remember that Chandapal, he has been at the crease from the start of play. So maybe he's saying to himself, no, I'm really seeing it, so I can be a little bit more aggressive.
I guess maybe that's what he's saying to himself, but when we look at the scorecard here, we notice that he has faced just about 188 ball deliveries, maybe a little bit more, because the score sheet here that I'm looking at is a little behind. So you could say just around anywhere between 180 and 194 deliveries he has soaked up, and has only scored 28 runs. So yes, he would want to push on a bit, but if it is to the benefit of the team for him to continue blocking, then he should consider which would be the better option. We see Sheena Berridge starting this new over. Again, just outside the off stump. This one to Singh wearing number 10 on his back. And so, as it is in international cricket, even in white ball cricket now, in first class and test cricket, the ICC has voted for the players to wear numbers on their jerseys. So now, as in the past, there weren't any markings or numbers on the jerseys. We now see numbers, and Vijay Singh is wearing the number 10. Sheena Berridge, who's running into him, is number 77. The delivery just outside the off stump again. Singh elects not to play. What do you think Berridge needs to do at this time?
Berridge. With Berridge, as you mentioned before, the line is just a little bit too wide.
Yes.
You know, you want to ask Singh, who is, you know, pretty much aggressive, to play.
Yes.
You know, so he needs to be just a little bit closer to the off stump.
Certainly. He now starts his run on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps before his delivery stride. Again, outside off stump again. Singh coming across a little. Ball outside off stump, and he realizes that he is in no danger of being bowled. So he just elects not to play again. And at this stage of the game, just coming back off of a break, I think Singh is just thinking of working himself in. He's a new batsman there, at least the newer of the two batsmen. And he himself would want to build a large score, which would certainly put Guyana in a position of building a large total. So I think he's just working himself in. Here comes Berridge again to Singh, and again, this one is a little closer. He elects not to play, and I believe this time it's because of the length of the delivery more so than the line of delivery.
Exactly, because he knew that one was going over the stumps.
Yes.
So even if I left it and it swung back,
Yes.
still no harm.
Yes, but not a bad idea in terms of the line. Now he just, as you have mentioned, needs to get the length a little fuller.
That's right.
So here's Berridge again running in. Delivers. Oh, again, another close one. Again, just a little too short, but just a little outside off stump. It suggests that Singh is very aware of where his off stump is, and so he has elected again to leave that ball alone. What you notice as the bowler gets into his delivery strides, he makes a move across his stump. So he covers that off stump, and he ensures that he even when he leaves alone, he's not in any particular danger of being bowled or any of that sort.
Yes, not a bad technique there by Singh.
Not at all. So we see Berridge again in. He jumps, bowls, delivers, and this one is about outside off stump. Again, certainly not forcing Singh to play at all, and Singh is just content to leave those deliveries alone. They're not troubling him. They're not straight at his stump, so there's no need for him to go after those deliveries.
Yes, those particular deliveries, they're not tempting him. You know, they're more away from the stump, so he doesn't really have to play. You know, he could just leave those and wait until, you know, he gets a bad delivery and capitalize.
And, you know, in saying that, maybe it's a sort of a war of attrition out there, you know, where Berridge would continue bowling that line, he continues to leave alone, and then Berridge would bring one into his strike zone where he decides, oh, now I've got my delivery, but he may just make the mistake. Here we see Damien Jacobs starting a new over. This one, it seems as if the batsman missed that completely, but he would have struck him outside leg stump, hence no appeal. Dot ball again. Here is Jacobs. He jumps and delivers this ball just about on the leg stump line and making some movement towards the leg stump, and Chandapal worked it away, but again, finding the fielder there at the square leg position. Again, no run. Jacobs this time goes in, he bowls, and this one is wide outside off stump, and Chandapal unleashes a drive to the cover region, and this looks like it's going to beat the fielder into the boundary. 4 runs, releasing the pressure that he would have built up on Chandapal, and Chandapal has scored as a boundary. I don't know how many of them he has hit. I think this would be his second boundary in his innings. So 4 runs there for Chandapal, takes his score now to 32 runs. And to tell the truth, he didn't unleash a full-blooded drive on that. It was just pure timing that took that to the boundary.
Yeah, and that was pretty full as well. So,
Yes.
it was easy for him.
Yes, certainly. Bad delivery there by Jacobs. Let's see what he will do as a response. And again, this one now down the leg side, and Chandapal just elects to work it away. And I think those deliveries that Chandapal has gotten on his leg stump and just worked away to the square leg region, I think Jacobs has been quite fortunate that they have not gone for more. Jacobs this time is full outside the off stump, and it seems as if he beat him on a Yorker. And he tried to drive but missed completely, keeper collecting. And
I think that one
resulting in
spun back between bat and pad.
Possibly,
They would have played
possibly.
that drive.
Jacobs again, this is another delivery on the leg stump, and this time he works it away, it beats the keeper, and this is going away towards the boundary. It gets really close, the fielder runs around, stops it, and the batsmen are able to run 3 runs, it appears. Yes, 3 runs to the batsmen. So as we were saying earlier, that Damian Jacobs has been quite fortunate to get away with some of those deliveries, but that one he was capitalized on.
Yes, maybe the listeners would be saying you goat mouth him. Just as you said it, the batsman would really capitalize on that particular one and getting 3 runs. Not a good delivery there from Damian Jacobs, but Chandapal, who really capitalized on that particular delivery. He has been getting a few deliveries on and about the leg stump, and having been capitalizing on them and been hitting them straight to fielders. On this opportunity, he really found the gap and got 3 runs to his name as we welcome Denmore Roberts to the commentary position.
Thank you very much, Anthony, as it's going to be pace continuing from the southern end of the Sarante Andy Roberts end. The first delivery outside the line of the off stump, beating the batsman. Had a push at it. Looks to be Chandapal. He's been there all of 4 hours so far? And he's only scored, he scored 36 runs? 35 runs. So it's really been a patient, if you want to call it innings, or is it slow?
Long.
Slow and long. But he's still there. And again, this time he's playing inside the line of that delivery from Shino Berridge. He came right across his stumps. You could almost see his leg stump as he was going after that one, and then just pulling the bat inside. Really looking to cover all of his stumps as Berridge is just looking to dislodge him. He's just been there. He's not tried too many scoring strokes in his innings so far. He's been there just trying to bat long. I think he has to add the scoring component with the batting long. Here's the edging one, gets it past the slip between the second and third slip and down to the third man boundary for 4. So genuine edge found, but because again he wasn't pushing at it, he wasn't trying to play an aggressive stroke, the ball hitting the edge but going straight to ground and between the fielders, and he picked up a boundary.
Yes, and not a bad delivery there from Shino Berridge. And as I would have mentioned before, I would have taken the gully out and put a 3rd slip. That would have gone straight to 3rd slip. Even though it wasn't a catch, at least he would have stopped that, so he wouldn't have gotten 4 runs.
Certainly agree with you, because the way the pitch is playing, the gully is pretty much a waste fielder, not necessarily having too much work to do there, and given that other opportunity, Berridge is sprinting in, and this time just playing inside the line deliberately. Again is the left-handed Chandapal. It goes into the gloves of wicketkeeper Hamilton. Hamilton has looked good behind the stumps as well. He's been very effective, has not given away anything. maybe his captaincy, he could be a little bit more creative in trying to prize out one of these Guyanese batsmen. As you said, maybe just a tinge in the field placements, moving the gully into a slip and so on, just changing the thinking of the batsman. This delivery again, he's going right through that third slip position and the ball runs down to the third man boundary, another 4. So right where you were talking, Anthony Martin, the ball again finding the edge of Shandapal's bat and rushing down to third man boundary that's vacant. The fielder only coming to retrieve, and they picked up another boundary.
Yes, and I'm just wondering if the skipper or the senior players in the slip region, nobody realized what's really happening, so they could at least say to him, skipper, look, I think we need the gully to come over close to us, because all the deliveries, the balls are going down in that region, which he just made the change and put the gully into
So
the third
the
slip.
third slip has come in. We were just hoping that you would have been wired to him much earlier, so that he would make the change. Let's see if this change would cause a difference. Because Berridge is not bowling badly. He sprints in now. He's in and bowling this time on the line of the stumps. And again, Shandapal coming right across his stumps, almost jumping in line and playing this one into the mid-wicket region, and he can't score. The end of another over has come up. At the end of it, the Guyana Jaguars, they are 170 for 2. Tajdurrahman Shandapal has moved on to 43, and Vishal Singh, he is on 10.
Yes, and ever so often then more that we would be in the commentary position and call for a certain field placement. And then after you would have gotten that field placement, here is it that the bowler now changes the line. So the field placement doesn't really look like, making much sense.
we always wonder, what is it that is with bowlers that the captain changed the field to give you to what you were bowling to, and then you try something else?
Then
Always
you change your line.
Yes, we saw that with Berridge on that last delivery, got the third slip and then bowled one down the leg side. This first delivery from Jacobs is play defensive. Do you think Jacobs probably could flight it a little more? He's not expensive by any stretch of the imagination, so it gives him, I think, an opportunity to try
Catch it.
something more. The ball is in the air,
That was a
and wow, it looked as if it was Boatswain who is there, but he didn't realize that the ball was carrying in the air to him. The shout was catch it, and he was anchored at the mid-off position, and the ball fell aimlessly.
He was
just to
planted.
the side of the umpire. My goodness. Coming down and driving is Singh to a tossed-up delivery. This time, Boatswain just comes across and does the feeling. There's no run. Doesn't that was strange, Anthony Martin, because Boatswain didn't move. Here is this delivery, just trying to turn it away on the onside. Gets it to that short backward square position. Again, can't score. Vishal Singh. The Leewards will have to make something of those half chances. They're really going to have to step up in terms of the feeling. You see, pulling a short of a length delivery. Gets it out to deep backward square, who's on the boundary. Walks through for a single. So one more to Vishal Singh. Brings Shandapal onto strike as the Guyana Jaguars continue to move on. 171 for 2. Singh goes to 11. 43 is Shandapal. I was saying that I feel that Jacobs could flight a little more and create something for himself. Here is a flighted delivery that is blocked back along the pitch for the bowler to field to his own bowling. From his 10.5 overs, he's only conceded 19 runs from his 11 overs as the scoreboard flashes over. And I'm thinking that if he risk it, he might be hit maybe for a boundary or two, but it would cause the batsman to start to approach him differently. So I would love your take on the way that he's bowling and what he could do to probably get himself a wicket.
Yes, as you mentioned, if he would have given it, just a little bit more ear, that would be really good for him and for the Leeward Islands, because here is it that the Vijay Singh, he wants to play some shots. So if you would hang it in the ear for a little, then he would
Force him to come.
Exactly.
Force him to come and play those
that
shots.
particular one that Boatswain did move, it had a little bit more ear than the others before. So, you know, and I think that was an easy opportunity for the Leeward Islands to take a wicket if Boatswain was walking in. He wasn't walking in, he was just stationary.
Very much
and
so. Very
that's
much
a chance
so.
going down.
It is a chance going down, and like we were saying, the Leeward Islands have to change those half chances into full-fledged chances and take them. Boatswain is going to come into the attack to bowl. I thought that Sheena Berridge was unfortunate being taken
could
off.
have been given another over.
Correct. I agree with you. Boatswain starts and stops because I'm thinking that even though 8 runs had come off of the bat of Chandapal in that last over, they were inadvertent strokes. They were Sheena Berridge hitting the edge of his bat on 2 occasions, and the fielder not being in place, the ball is going to the boundary. I, for one, as a captain, would have been happy to see that something is happening in terms of Berridge, and the next over, Berridge is gone. This is Boatswain, he's in, and this delivery, the batsman comes across his stumps, covers, and pushes it out to the mid-on region, and there is no run. So, Guyana Jaguars 171 for 2. I'll give you some other scores in a short while. Here we watch as Boatswain seemingly having a problem with his rhythm. He's starting and stopping. Here is he coming in now. Slow approach is in, and this delivery again, the batsman is covering up and just flicking the wrist as the ball goes into the mid-wicket region. A fielder is posted there, and there is no run. Stumps on day 1, Barbados Pride 233 all out. After they were in trouble, Kyle Mayers getting 106 in that one, and Warwican I think got 39. I'll confirm. TNT Red Force, when we last heard, 241 for 3 in that one, and it's a Simmons that got 83 in that. Salzano got into the 70s, and Darren Bravo, who is captain in the side, is not out on 50 overnight in that one there between the TNT Red Force and the Jamaica Scorpions. The Windward Island, TNT Red Force and the Jamaica Scorpions. Another short of a length delivery is just jumping in line and playing it defensively again is Vishal Singh. And the Guyanese, they've sent a number of, all the batsmen we've seen so far have been left-handers. Interesting so far. And I think that it's going to be left-handers until maybe we reach Anthony Bramble, who is a right-hander. And he likes the Leeward Islands bowling for some reason. Usually does well. Here is Boatswain in and bowls to Singh, and Singh is driving through the offside. Good stop by that fielder at cover, just diving away slightly to his right and making an effective save, and there is no run. That fielder looks to be Devon Thomas.
Yeah.
So Devon Thomas in the field and showing his worth. You tend to think that he's going to be an important factor of this Leeward Islands batting this year. He needs a breakthrough. He needs one of those breakthrough seasons if he's going to really get to that next level. Quite a number of people across the world think he's good enough. Here is this delivery, driving, but straight to the field out at mid-off is Vishal Singh. Can't score. The end of the over. At the end of it, 171 for 2. Chandapal is on 43. Vishal Singh remains on 11. It was a maiden over bowled by Quinton Boatswain.
Yes, with Devon Thomas, as you just mentioned, he needs that breakthrough. Well, for me, I think he needs to just be more consistent because he has all the shots in the book and some that are not in the book as well. You know, so I think he just needs to be consistent, concentrate on his game, and he could get the job done and play a few years at the top level.
I think so. Chandapal's 43 has come from a staggering 205 deliveries. So he's batted 205 deliveries and he's only scored 43 runs. He's had 4 fours in his knock so far. He's getting delivery that he's looking to turn on the onside. Gets it to that man at short, fine leg. More of a backward square position, or square in that position. Pretty straight. As Jacobs walks in once more to bowl to Shandapal, who comes forward and plays with a defensive bat. Back along the pitch again. Hemraj had 52 off 60 deliveries. Leon Johnson's 59 came off 123 deliveries. Here is this delivery's driving. Shandapal through the offside, is running pretty close to the boundary. The fielder tries to flick it back, doesn't pick it up. And again, the ball beating him into the boundary and his 4 runs.
Yes, a good shot there from Shandapal. The bowler just over pitching there, and he just made good use of that particular delivery and putting 4 runs on the board, 4 runs to him, 4 runs to the Guyana Jaguars. Steadying their position going down to the finishing line for today.
Certainly they're in a strong position. They've gone on to 175 for 2. And Shandapal inching ever so closely to that half century. Here we see just raising the bat at one, pushing the leg at it, and then raising the bat outside the line of the off stump, and no run.
Here's it, that if he's going to be bowling just outside the off stump, I think he needs another fielder on the offside.
This is a delivery again, pitching on or about just outside the off stump and pushed back along the pitch for the bowler to field to his own bowling, and there's no run. So he has a slip in place. He has a square cover, extra cover, and mid off. As he's in again, and this time Shandapal just almost looking to work it on the offside. The ball dropping at his feet. Wicketkeeper Hamilton moves from behind the stumps, does the fielding, and there is no run. The end of another over has come up. Guyana Jaguars there 175 for 2. Shandapal is on 47 and Singh on 11.
Yes, that over there from Jacobs, he seems to have changed his line from the leg stump line to a line just outside the off stump. So, in my opinion, I think he had needed to move that man from behind square and put him into the offside, which would give him more protection so that he could give some ear, pull back, and give ball some quicker just outside the off stump, because he would have had that protection on the
Correct
offside.
indeed. And you're wondering who is this person that's giving these very expert analysis. It's Anthony Martin, and somebody who has bowled well over the years for Antigua Leeward Islands and got an opportunity for the West Indies. You played a couple of one-days, a few one-days for the West Indies?
I think it's about 9.
9 one-days. Should have played more, but you know how it is, as the first delivery was played away out into the offside field, and there is no run. The score remains on 175 for 4. 175 for 4. The Guyana Jaguars, they won the toss, and as expected, Guyana, when they come to Antigua and they win the toss, they always bat.
Every time.
Every time. They never refuse that opportunity, and this is a short of a length delivery from Quinton Boatswain. Boatswain considerably slower than he was at the start of the day. You can see that he's beginning to feel effects of the long day, as he's literally just ambling in from that far end. He's in the course of his 10th over, so he should not be that tired, but doesn't look to have a very quick run up. Here is he in, and Singh coming forward again, just playing it back along the pitch. The bowler fields in his follow through, and there's no run. I'm looking across and the far end, and the few spectators that were there, 1 or 2 of them have left. So we're almost by ourselves here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium as the players go through the final stages of the day's play. We watch as here is Boatswain in, and this delivery is worked away on the onside. Can't score though, we shall sing, as they feel that mid-wicket position is quickly across. That looks to be Jason Peters, who is there and does the fielding. No run. So he's been tight. Quinton Boatswain has not given away anything in his last 2 overs. He's just tried to keep the batsmen honest. He's had 9.4 overs, 1 made and 31 runs, no wicket in his bowling so far. And here is this delivery, waving the bat at it outside the line of the off stump and cutting it down to backward of point for 4 is Singh. Looked very easy, just looked at the viewers waving the bat at it, but he timed it sweetly. It flashed over the offside field and he picked up a boundary.
Yes, good shot there from Singh. For the Leeward Island skipper, I think he's really missing the trick here, because for Quinton Boatswain, who hasn't been really consistent as Sheena Berridge, I don't think he need the 3 slips for Quinton Boatswain, because for his past spells, he hasn't been really consistent in hitting the areas. And in order to have 3 slips and bringing them into action, you have to be consistent just outside the off stump, and he hasn't been, so I would not have given him 3 slips.
So he has a Sheena Berridge field for Quinton Boatswain bowling.
Correct.
We watch as Boatswain stands at the far end. It just tosses the ball to the fielder who was standing at mid-on. He's ready now. Begins to move in. Strongly built Leeward Islands bowler outside the line of the off. So that one had a little bit more pace on it. That one probably hit the seam and seamed away. You could see Hamilton taking it above his waist, going towards that first slip region, and there is no run. The end of another over has come up. At the end of it, 179. It is for 2. Chandapal remains on 47 and Vishal Singh is on 15.
Yes, a good condition here at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium. The pace bowlers should be running in and hitting the deck hard, you know, and giving it their all for the Leeward Islands, you know. And whenever they're tired now, they could signal to the skipper, I'm tired, I need a break, you know, and you would have known to yourself that you would have given it your 100%.
Certainly, and I'm thinking that in 10 overs in a day for a main bowler, you shouldn't be tired at that stage. You should be underworked, if anything. So we really should have been seeing a bigger effort from Quinton Boatswain at this stage. Damien Jacobs is going to continue from the Secretly Ambrose, and he's now coming around the wicket to the left-handed batsman who is working this one up on the onside. Thought of a single and sent back by Vishal Singh was Taj Narayan Chandapal, and he remains there. He would love to get a half century today. He's been at the crease for almost he's been at the crease for all of the play so far. Almost 5 hours of batting. Here is he getting a delivery that he's playing defensively once more. He's scored 47 of 211 deliveries. So he's been very patient. Here we watch as Jacobs is in to him, and he's guiding this one down on the onside. Takes off late for that single. Was probably guilty of ball watching. He was watching that ball as it went into the backward square leg region, but called through by Vishal Singh, who had a better view of things, and in the end he was able to get the single, get run number 48 and 180th run for the Guyana Jaguars. They were 180 for 2, brings Vishal Singh, who's on 15, into strike, and Singh is just playing one down into the hands of the short leg fielder, with Jason Peters. He had a little toss back at the stumps, and the Leeward Islands looked a little bit excited. Maybe Vishal Singh might have strayed out of his crease. We see Taj Narayan Chandapal just doing a little bit of farming on the pitch, just making sure he gets off something that he's seen there. Singh is back and forcing this one into the offside field, and there is no run. And you're correct, that man at short, fine leg doesn't seem to have a role right now with the way that Jacobs is bowling. Here is he around the wicket, and this one is worked away out to backward of square. The fielder is on the boundary, and they come through for an easy single. Ends the over and ends my stint again. Anthony, I'm going to say goodbye to you on 181 for 2. Tajnarayan Chandapal is on 48. Vishal Singh is on 16. After more thoughts from former West Indies player in Anthony Martin, it's going to be Jack Matthew.
Yes, earlier in the over there from Jacobs, you would have noticed that he had a short man just behind, a leg slip. You would have moved the man from the 45 and putting him into leg slip. But for you to get a wicket at leg slip, you must be giving the ball some ear and rip. You can't just bowl flat and fast and get man out at the in leg slip. So you would have to give it some ear and allow the ball to do some damage.
So Quinton Boatswain continues. He's driving at this delivery, and he goes away down towards the third man position. He's gone away for 4 runs. So he was driving at that delivery. He wasn't in control, but a little bit away from the body, and it rushed beyond the slip cordon and down to the boundary for 4. So the score has pushed on here for Guyana Jaguars, winning the toss and electing to bat, and they are now 185 for 2, with Tajnarayan Chandapal on to 48 and Vishal Singh on 20.
Yes, and it appears as if they have elected to employ a third man now as some protection on the boundary. They have given away quite a number of runs through that area, and inadvertent strokes, but still runs.
Boatswain is in and is outside the off stump, and the ball is not handled cleanly by the wicket keeper. It was a difficult take. It was low, and the fielder, Jace Taylor, at third man, having to come around to his right to do the work. And the score has inched on with that, and it's now 186 for 2. The 2 batsmen out, Chandrapal Hemraj, he made 52, and Leon Johnson, the captain, 59.
Yes, I think the bowler, Boatswain, has been quite inconsistent today. Has not really offered much for the Leewards as far as the bowling is concerned.
This is a quick delivery outside the line of the off stump, and the batsman there, Chandrapal, was playing. Looked to have been beaten by the pace of that particular delivery and taken by the wicket keeper. Looked to have had that extra zip.
Yes, it did. It did, certainly. However, what you're not seeing from him is consistent zip like that. Some balls come through quickly, some balls much slower. And I think it may be a testament to him not necessarily having a good rhythm, or he may be experiencing some difficulties with his run-up.
He's in the course of his 11th over, and the batsman is coming forward and drives. It goes down to mid-off. Can't beat the fielder. So Quinton Boatswain, none for 35, 1 maiden. In 11 overs he has bowled so far. Sheena Berridge, who began, has had 14 overs, 3 maidens, none for 43. Casey Carty, 5 overs of medium pace, none for 18. Jace Taylor, the off-spinner, had a long bowl from the far end, bowled 19 overs. Boatswain, the right-arm fast bowler, is in, and here is Chandrapal playing this delivery, coming onto the front foot, leaning forward, and it rolls down to the mid-on position. And the score is kept on 188.
86.
186, correction, for the loss of 2. So Jace Taylor, 19 overs, 10 maidens, none for 33. 19 overs, 10 maidens, none for 33. Damien Jacobs has been operating from the commentary box or northern end. Chandapal is driving at this ball, well, almost cutting at it. It got the edge and went down past the first slip field in Kyron Powell and went down to the boundary for 4. Not sure if it was a chance. The ball traveled very, very quickly. There was Tajnarayan Chandapal playing at that ball with a horizontal bat, and it took the edge of the bat. I think he was undone there by the pace of that delivery. There was a bit of bounce as well, and it probably brushed the hand of Powell on its way through, and he got 4 runs for that, but it was certainly inadvertently done.
Yes, it was certainly inadvertently done, but that particular delivery is a testament to what Quinton Boneswain can do, but has not been doing consistently enough in terms of troubling the batsmen. If he were to be a lot more consistent, I think that he would offer Leewards a more consistent wicket-taking option as a bowler. But as you can see from his career stats, he has played, I think, 20-odd first-class games and only taken 30-something wickets. And I guess it's a testament to his to the inconsistent nature of his bowling over time.
So 190 for 2, and it will be Damien Jacobs to continue, and Vijay Singh steps out, and optimistic appeal there by the bowler. He was certainly moving forward to that delivery, and appeared to have been hit on the pad. Damien Jacobs turned to umpire Verdine Smith, and
I think he was hit outside off stump on that delivery.
So Jacobs back at his mark. He's bowling around the wicket, leg spinner. Now in the course of his 14th over, 4 maidens, 1 for 25. He's in, and Vijay Singh is watchful as he goes back and plays with a straight bat. The ball rolls up to Jace Taylor at mid-on. Score kept on 190 for 2. Taj Narain Chandapal on 52. And Vijay Singh, the man on strike, he has 20. As Jacobs is into bowl. He steps out and drives, but can't get the timing into the stroke, and the ball just rolls back along the pitch for the bowler to pick up.
Yes.
And Kyron Powell also had a bowl. He had 3 overs, 1 maiden, none for 8. 3 overs, 1 maiden, none for 8. This ball is deflected away, and afterward probably hit the helmet.
Yes.
Yes, he was struck there on the helmet. They feel that they're in that position, Jason Peters, and it must have done some damage to the helmet, because there's a signal coming from look to be the wicket keeper for maybe a replacement, and certainly they will.
Actually, it appears as if it may be the trainer who's coming out, or the physio. I think the forward short leg fielder has been quite brave today, because I think that is not the first time he has been struck on the helmet from a delivery from the batsman, and he might be requesting from the captain to move him from that position. But this one, it almost appeared as if the batsman unleashed a full-blooded pull and hit it along the ground, and it came off of the helmet. You could see that the fielder was taking evasive action, and the ball hit the helmet and went away towards the fine leg position just behind the wicket keeper. And you could see him holding his head as if to suggest that he may be feeling a bit of discomfort from that blow on the helmet. The players have gathered around him, and it seems as if the umpires have also called for the drinks break. In the meantime, I guess for him to gather his composure, and also for, just to give the players an opportunity to refresh themselves.
And we know that because of
the concussion
rule, he could be ruled out of the match because of concussion, and then someone replace him.
Yes.
And we know that Manus Labuschagne came into the Australian side as a result of that.
Yes, and what a phenomenal
and he has not
season.
looked back.
Yes,
I think he has scored in excess of 800 runs for the summer.
As you know, he is adjudged man of the series of the series between Australia and New Zealand. So
he has been reeling off big scores since he came as a replacement during the Ashes series in England. And it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise, certainly. And I think it's also a teaching lesson for some of our younger players when they get opportunities to take the most of the opportunities that they get, because that may be the only opportunity. And if they make positive use of that opportunity, it could select and cement their opportunity for their career for a long, because I don't think that Australia will want to drop this young man for the next series or two, based on his performances from this particular opportunity that he grabbed two-handedly.
He would have to fail consistently, I think, before the Australians would look at that option of leaving him
Exactly.
out of the side.
And he certainly has talent and also has the ability to fight through innings. And so, just for those two qualities alone, they would want to have him around for a long time.
I was about to say that he has been quite resolute.
Yes.
Even in the face of adversity, he has been very, very determined as a batsman for Australia. And those qualities are really qualities that you associate with Australian batsmen
yes.
over the years. They've had a string of batsmen who have been very, very, very tough and, in their approach to batting. They remember the Chappell brothers, especially Ian Chappell. He faced the barrage of West Indian
Yes.
fast bowlers over
Players
the
like
years.
Steve Waugh.
Yes, Steve
David
Waugh was.
Boone.
Yes, they were quite stubborn batsmen for Australia, and so Labuschagne has exhibited those qualities, very, very resolute, and
And it's a
let's hope that, from a Test cricket perspective,
Yes.
that he'll continue
Yes,
to
and it's
perform.
a testament to the brand of cricket that Australia plays. And maybe some of our younger cricketers should piggyback on that type of brand of cricket and that mentality. And even though we may not necessarily have as wide a pool as some of those larger countries to select from, if we were to have 3 or 4 players that exhibited that type of quality while batting, we would be a more successful team.
True. So we have a break. The players have had drinks, and I think some concern has also been expressed about the state of Jason Peters. He was hit on the helmet while at short leg. Not sure if he's going to stay on. Has he gone off?
He's still on the field,
He's still on the
apparently,
field.
and I think he's going to continue.
So there's no
He still
concussion,
has-
apparently.
he still has the helmet in hand, so it appears as if he's going to go back in position at that forward short leg position. I, for one, would have requested
Just a period of respite, even.
yes, even, because having been hit more than once on the helmet cannot be a comfortable feeling for him. And it could affect him when he goes to bat also.
And it could affect him psychologically even now.
Yes.
Because in that position, you're going to think about maybe being hit again. And if a chance could come,
Might
you
not
could
be
well
as
miss
alert,
it.
yes.
Yes, because you have that in your mind that there's a possibility of being hit again. So we'll see what happens. He's lurking there at short leg. He crouches now, and the batsman Singh is forward. And the ball goes away towards Kyron Powell at that slip position. He makes the stop. Damian Jacobs walks back to the top of his mark. The score now, 190 for 2. 52 is Tajarine Chandapal. Singh is the man on strike. He leans forward. A left-hander. The ball goes to Powell at slip. So the over has been completed. The drinks break coming in the middle of that Damian Jacobs over. And at the end of it, Guyana Jog was laying a solid platform here on day one of this day-night fixture in the regional first-class competition against the Leeward Hurricanes at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. They're 190 for 2, having won the toss and opted to bat first, losing the wickets of Chandrapal Hemraj for 52 and Captain Leon Johnson for 59.
Just to bring you up to date on the Ireland West Indies 50-over match being played in Barbados. Ireland, having made 237 for 9 in their 50 overs, West Indies are now 148 for the loss of 6 wickets after 28.2 overs, chasing 238 to win. So it seems as if Ireland has a little advantage in this match.
Indeed, what an intriguing situation there. A ball is driven into the offside to the right of Boatswain at mid-off. He has to cover a bit of ground, and the batsmen scurry a run. 191 now for 2. So Chandrapal gets another run. He's on to 53. And here is Singh going back and cutting it down to this short third-man area, the backward point, in case Carty having to go around to his right. Makes the stop. The batsmen just hustle another run. It's 192 now for 2. Bowling operation is Jace Taylor. He had 19 overs prior to this one. And here is a defensive push. The ball hitting the outer face of the bat and running down to Carty at backward point. 192 for 3 it remains. With Singh, the man on strike. Facing the off spinner, Jace Taylor from the far end. And he's back and turns it down to the backward square area. It's picked up there by Sheena Berridge. No opportunity for the batsman to cross. So here is Jace Taylor, and this is whipped away to the onside. They get a run as they feel at mid-wicket. That's Damien Jacobs away from the wide mid-on area, having to run towards the orthodox mid-wicket position to pick the ball up. And the single was had, 193 for 2. It has been generally slow going by Guyana, but they've kept their wickets. Only 2 down, push into the offside, and skipping in from the backward from the point position is Monson Hodge, and there is no run. So it's 193 for 2. 193 for 2 Guyana Jaguars, with Chandapal on 54 and 21 to Vijay Singh. And Taylor has now bowled 20 overs, 10 maidens, and has taken none for 35, none for 35. And Quinton Boatswain, who will continue the attack, he has had, so far in his spell, he has bowled Quinton Boatswain, opened the bowling with Sheena Berridge, 11 overs, 1 maiden, none for 43.
Yes, and Taylor continues to be economical, not giving too much away. Has not really troubled the batsman as much as we would have liked to see. However, he has been economical and building pressure. Here we see Archibald, it appears, who is going to take up the attack from the northern end. Colin Archibald, who was the bowler to effect the initial breakthrough. He has looked economical, he has looked solid, and he seems to have gotten stronger as the day goes by. Here he goes, he bowls a short delivery. Singh or Chandapal looked as if he attempted to pull a ball, looked like he came off of the top edge, flying over the fine leg area and going into the boundary for 4.
Yes, certainly that hustle on to him. He wasn't expecting the bounce and certainly the pace of that particular delivery. So he went for the hook shot, and he got onto him early, hit the top edge, and flew down to fine leg for 4. So an inadvertent boundary for Tajnarain Chandapal. He goes further into the 50s. He's on to 58. And here is a ball which is cut at. And good bit of fielding by the diving backward point fielder. That's Casey Carty out there. And there is no chance for the batsman to cross. But batting now with certainly with more aggression. Tajnarain Chandapal, he's been out there since the start of the innings, and he feels that he's now in the groove, and so he's playing more shots.
Yes,
and certainly that was an attacking shot to a ball outside the line of the off stump.
But it appears that when he elects to be a little more positive or aggressive, he also appears to be a little more risky.
So he's facing the bowling now of Archibald, and this is clipped towards the mid-on area, and a run for Tajnarain Chandapal. So he goes on, progressing quite well. He's on to 59 now with that stroke, and the 200 beckons for Guyana Jaguars, 198 for 2. 198 for 2. Chandapal has been pedestrian for the most part, as we've said. Has faced over 220 deliveries for that score of 59. But doesn't seem to be bothered by the slow approach. Here is Singh to a good length delivery, comes forward and plays it past the bowler, and they'll get a run because a bit of running for the mid-off coming around to his left. That's Damien Jacobs, and the batsmen were comfortably through for the single.
Yes, I think the batsmen were pretty much given that single because the bowler on his follow-through was not alert enough, and this elected to go on his natural follow-through instead of electing to field that delivery, and that is what allowed those batsmen a single.
Chandler Paul now gets one outside the line of the off stump of full length and does not offer a shot. And it's taken by the wicket keeper. So,
yes, Jack, just to give you an update on the game between West Indies and Ireland. Ireland, they have taken another wicket. So West Indies are now 153 for 7 off of 29.3 overs, chasing 238 for victory. The batsmen presently are Hayden Walsh Jr. and Kari Peer.
yes, the West Indies up against it there at Kensington Oval, here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Here is a ball which is defensively played. The last one of the over by Chandra Paul. And Chanda Paul, he goes into the onside to be picked up by Sheena Berridge at that mid-on position. So it's 199 for 2. 199 for 2 Guyana Jaguars against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. The match, a day-night fixture being played with the pink ball, with the action unfolding here at the stadium with Chanda Paul on 59 and Visual Singh on 21. More from Vincy Boyne and then the voice of Denmore Roberts.
Yes, another good over there from Archibald. Induced a false stroke earlier in the over where Chanda Paul tried to execute a pull shot. Hustled onto him and it flew off the top edge to the boundary. However, he has continued to show a strong defensive showing in terms of his bowling, keeping things tight. His 11 overs so far have cost only 24 runs, and he has also taken a wicket.
First delivery of a new over by Taylor is played defensively by the batsman in Singh. Singh, who started off pretty quickly and has gone into a bit of a shell. Easy beaten by one outside the off stump, was looking to cut it away, didn't make contact. Ball going into the gloves of Jamal Hamilton, who has had a good day behind the stumps. Taylor is in once more, and Singh just using his feet and coming forward to that delivery and working it into the extra cover region, and there is no run. It was just playing that, just driving at that one. Here is he facing up again, and he's cutting at a delivery outside the line of the off stump, and the ball coming off the lower portion of the bat and into the ground. Jamal Hamilton again quickly moves from behind the stumps and does the fielding, and there is no run. 199 it is for 2. Singh plays defensively to a delivery that is on the line of the stumps and works it into the short mid-wicket region, and there is no run. The end of another quick over by Jakes Taylor. At the end of it, the Guyana Jaguars, they are on 199 for 2 with Chanda Paul on 59 and Vishal Singh on 22.
Yes, another quick over there by Taylor, another tight over again by Taylor, and he continues to keep it tight, building pressure at one end. What we would prefer to see now is that the other batsmen can apply a bit, the other bowlers can apply a bit of pressure from the other end while still attacking in a sense and giving themselves some sort of an opportunity to take wickets at this point. However, the Guyana batsmen the Jaguars don't seem to be perturbed by the scoring rate and have elected to preserve their wickets while out in the middle.
It's a 4-day match. They shouldn't be concerned about the scoring rate at this stage. Here we watch as this is Archibald, and this first delivery is punched away by the left-handed Tajnawine Chandapal, but hits it straight to the fielder at extra cover. Looks to be Jason Peters, who is in that position, and there was no run. We had that little period where the ball had struck him somewhere on his body. There was concern look on most of the fielders there. Here we watch as the left-handed Archibald is in outside the line of the off stump, allow the ball to go by into the gloves of the wicket-keeper. There's no run. It's strange that Archibald, this left-handed bowler, doesn't seem to get the ball to go into the left-hander at all. Most of his deliveries seemingly shape away, and I think one of the problems that he's having And I've heard, I heard the Indian fast bowler speak to it the other day. Here is Archibald, comes in, left arm over the wicket, and this delivery, the batsman is playing defensively up on the onside, and again, just for a single. The bowler, the Indian opening bowler in Rohit Sharma, Ishant Sharma was saying that the coach said to him, you have to hit the ball into the pitch. And what you find is that Archibald is literally what Kenny Benjamin would say, floating them up.
Yes,
floating them in, rather than hitting them into the pitch. Here is he hitting one into the pitch, and this one seemed to have come back towards the batsman.
What I would say though, Denmo, is after his initial spell, in the second session, he seemed to have gotten stronger. He has, his pace has increased. And at one time when Anthony and I were on air, it seemed as if he was getting that ball now to do what we were talking about.
And Sharma, in his conclusion, said that what he found, that when he hit the pitch, he started to bowl faster. Here was this delivery again. This one on the line of the stumps, and the batsman was looking to work it up on the onside. He just reaches down his left hand and does the feeling in his follow through in Archibald, and there is no run.
Maybe it's something that the coach now needs to consider in terms of getting him to go in when he's bowling in practice, to hit the deck and to allow for that.
Because when he floats it in, he looks as if he's floating it in to look for that swing. That swing.
Yes.
But when he hits the pitch, that's when he seems to be more effective. Here is this one outside the line of the off stump, and you could see it shaping back as the way that Jamal Hamilton took it, going towards the leg side after it went past the bat, and there was no run. The end of another over from Archibald.
There's something to be said about his action. In some respects, it almost is reminiscent of Mitchell Starc of Australia.
Very much
and
so.
What he could do is maybe he should be able to, or he should be watching some videos of Mitchell Starc, seeing what he does to bring about his success, and maybe he can apply some of that to his game, because his action is almost reminiscent to what Mitchell Starc's action is.
I think if he gets the advice to hit the pitch more often, that he would, one, increase his pace, and two, increase his variety. He would not become a one-dimensional bowler, just floating the ball and looking for that swing. That might be okay at the youth level.
Yeah, right.
We're looking for that swing where you're against batsmen who are less skilled.
Yes.
But at this level, when you're going to meet some of the top batsmen, you have to have variety. You have to have something else in your arsenal.
And not only that, he needs to probably attack the stumps a little bit more, where he bends his back and try to fire in those quick Yorker length deliveries. Yes, all might not be Yorkers. Some may come out a bit of a back of the length, but as you say, it would hit the deck a little harder and cause for some movement off the seam, whether away or into the batsman.
So you're just having a little bit of a hold-up. Captain Jamal Hamilton has taken the opportunity to have a long chat with his bowler. Looks as if he's bringing back Sheeno Berridge. Berridge came out of the attack at a time when we thought, myself and Anthony Martin, we thought that he was at the time hitting the edge of Chanderpaul's bat and looking effective. And then the captain took him off at a time when we thought that he might have gotten an over or two more to see if he could have gotten that breakthrough.
And I think also it was sort of premature, because he was running in, he was looking strong, he was boisterous in his run-up, not showing any lacking in energy when he was bowling, and at that time he was also creating some problems for the batsmen, taking the edge and so forth. And I think it was an opportunity that he could have given him a few more overs. What it did, he brought in Boatswain, and that seemed to have
it took all the pressure off of the batsmen. Here was Berridge in, and this delivery is worked away into the offside field, but straight to the fielder standing at square cover, and there was no run. So the Guyana Jaguars 199 for 2, and just about average in terms of the number of runs scored in the day's play. You tend to think they're going to get a few more. They're about 10 overs left in the day's play today. So still an opportunity for maybe another 20 or 30 runs or so if they have not locked down shot. Here was this delivery again. Outside the line of the off stump, having the batsman in a bit of trouble, and it took the bat inadvertently, bouncing down before it got to wicketkeeper Hamilton, who has been good behind the stumps today, and he tidies up, and there is no run.
Yes, that ball seemed to have come off the inside edge, and again we see Berridge creating a bit of uncertainty in the batsman approach to him.
Here we see in, and he's playing square of the wicket again, just trying to force it away off the back foot. Both feet almost on the crease, trying to stand tall, was probably wanting to get that one to the left of that fielder at square cover, and hitting it to the fielder, can't score. He's been on 11 for a while, and he's actually now 22. He's now on to 22. He stayed on 11 for quite a while, for a number of overs. He's now progressed to 22. Here is Singh driving, but again straight to the fielder at the mid-off region. That's Archibald, who threatens to throw the stumps down with his left arm, and there is no run.
Yeah, he certainly is showing the showing intent of playing a little more positively, and he wants to get on with the scoring, but Berridge himself has been tight and testing so far.
Scores remain on 199 for 2. Here is Berridge in, and this delivery's worked away out to the mid-on region. Shout of no coming from Singh as Chandapal thought of a run. It was not on, it went straight to the fielder who was standing at that mid-on position. And the score remains on 199 for 2. It's Berridge begins to move in now, charges in, he's in, and outside the line of the off stump, and just raising the bat and allowing this one to go through to the wicketkeeper is the left-handed Vishal Singh. Ends another over bowled by Sheena Berridge. He's had some 15 overs, 4 maidens, 43 runs, no wickets so far today. The Guyana Jaguars, they are 199 for 2, with Chandapal on 59 and Singh on 22.
Yes, another testing over. He continues to test the batsmen. He continues to ask questions of them. Yes, he has not been successful, but he has certainly been attacking. He certainly has shown a lot of energy in his bowling. He has basically how he started the day is how he is at this time of the day, and I think some of the other bowlers, including Boatswain, could take a page out of Berridge's book in their approach to bowling in this game.
Certainly, and the Guyana still with some batting to come. There is still Pramal, Bramble, Barnwell, Neil Smith, Devendra Bishu, Raymond Reefer, and Kian Joseph in the shed. They are 199 for 2 and in a strong position so far. They would want to build a total, you think, in excess of 400 against the Leeward Islands.
Well, with this start, certainly they would want to do that. And I have some concerns because, you know, later down in the order, you have individuals like Christopher Barnwell
and Anthony Bramble.
And they tend to hit the ball
Bramble
around.
loves the Leeward Islands.
You remember
bowling.
Last year, he took the bowling apart.
He certainly loves
Yes.
the Leeward Islands bowling, especially
Certainly.
here in Antigua. When he comes here, he seems to be home. We watch as here is Archibald starting a new over, which the first delivery is played defensively. He scrambles across the pitch to try and effect the fielding, but he was well covered by Boatswain standing at that mid-on position, so no run in the end.
And you know, earlier you mentioned about him hitting the deck. There was a ball in not the last over, but the previous over to that, where he hit the deck. Ball flew at Chandapal, who tried to pull a shot, and it flew off the top edge. So maybe, as you say, he should try and employ that a little more often.
Here is he, offline, tried to hit the pitch, but he got it offline, and the ball worked the way down to a long leg position. Just one more run. So there are 3 slips and a gully in for him, and the captain definitely trying to encourage him to try and bowl quickly. And you've seen a little bit more effort from him
Yes.
Not just floating those deliveries in, but really running in and trying to bowl a little quicker than he was before. 3 slips and a gully go down. He has a man at point, an extra cover mid-off, mid-on, who is short, and a man at deep backward square or more in a long leg position. Here is he angled into the left-handed batsman who is trying to work this one away on the onside, gets it to that lone man at that mid-on position, and there's no run. He has acres of space between mid-on and that man down at long leg, so the captain is really trusting Archibald to bowl one side of the pitch. He wants him to bowl at off-stump line.
And yes, Archibald, this is his first first-class match, so he's getting his feet wet, but he has not had a bad match so far.
Here we see with this delivery and about the line of the off stump, the ball is played away into the offside field, and again there is no run. So 200 for 2, the Guyana Jaguars total. Shanda Paul is on 60, Singh is on 22. So Guyana getting to that important 200 mark, the psychological mark as well. Those marks here we watch as this delivery from Archibald is on the line of the stumps. Again, the batsman Singh is working this one up on the onside to Boatswain, who is standing at the mid-on position, and there is no run. There are 3 slips and a gully in. Then there is a man at point, extra cover on the mid-off, so he has a strong offside field. They call a 7-2 field in cricket. Here we watch as Archibald is in, and this delivery is driven out to the onside, ball coming off the inner portion of the bat, because we was looking for that one somewhere through the extra cover region.
Actually,
but the ball coming off the inner portion of the bat.
It actually went back to the bowler, and it appears as if he was trying to effect a quick, sharp run out by surprising the non-striker, and so hence the reason why you saw it on the onside.
I was wondering what happened there.
It
I
went
was
straight
looking
back
for
to
it
him,
on
but it seemed like
the
he tried to
offside.
flick it back and catch the non-striker off guard out of his crease.
200 for 2 at the end of the over, and the Guyana Jaguars continue to move on. Another partnership being built here by the Guyanese, and they've built partnerships today. This partnership worth 56 runs for the 3rd wicket, and the partnership also between Shanda Paul and Leon Johnson was worth 74 runs. So we saw that partnership as well, and whereas they also had 70 for that first wicket. So they've built partnerships, the Guyanese, and that's what you want to do in 4-day cricket. Beverages in at the start of a new over, playing inside the line of that one deliberately was the batsman in Shanda Paul, just coming across once he picked the line up, covering his stumps, and then he just pulls the bat inside the line of that one, allowing it to go into the gloves of the wicket keeper, and there's no run. 200 for 2.
You know, then I'm wondering if the captain may have taken the new ball, because what we're seeing here is that he has strengthened the slip cordon. He has 3 slips there in the gully, and he's elected to bowl his 2 fast
I
bowlers.
believe he has. Here is another delivery outside the line of the off stump again. Shanda Paul plays deliberately inside the line of it. He does so in an elaborate way. Comes across and then just pulls that bat inside the line, almost as if he's playing a stroke, but he's leaving it alone, and he has been doing that a lot for the day. He has picked up the line and just left it alone.
Yes, I don't remember seeing the umpire signaling whether a new ball might have been taken, but just based on
the number of overs
and also the
field
setting.
setting, maybe it was taken, and we might have missed it. Here is this delivery, just looking to force it away. It was Shanda Paul, the ball hitting hard on the bat and going down into the pitch, and then just trickling out to that fielder at mid-on, and there is no run. They're playing on that pitch that a lot of Antiguans say is the slow one that they're playing on in the middle. the folks would love to have seen them playing on one or
Of the
two
faster
of those,
ones.
of the faster ones. Here we watch as Berridge is in, and this delivery's on the line of the leg stump. He was looking for a single as he worked it into the forward square leg region, and there is no run.
Yes, I've just observed something, and for the day, Casey Cartier seemed somewhat lethargic in the field. And just a while ago, when Peters ran around to field that delivery, Casey Cartier did not even make an attempt to get himself in position, just in case a throw was made. He would have been in a position to back up the throw.
He's looked short of fitness, maybe. We watch as here is Berridge running in and bowl, and Chandapal
And he's out.
edging and caught. So just a little bit wider of the off stump forced him into that fall stroke. He was looking to force it away on the offside. Edge found, catch was taken. That's the end of Tajnarayan Chandapal. His long innings has come to an end, and he goes caught off the bowling of Shino Berridge, and he has made 60.
Yes, and I think that that wicket may have been a result of him not scoring as much as he would have liked, because for the whole day he has been very disciplined in leaving alone those deliveries. But at this stage now, he's probably thinking of getting on with his innings, scoring a little more positively. He saw something that he thought was a little wide. It gave him an opportunity to play, but with a stronger slip cordon, it was a lot more of a risky shot in this case. And as you see, ended up with a top edge going straight to, I think it was first or second slip, which resulted in his dismissal.
Carried it to second slip, where the catch was taken by Powell, by Hodge, who was in that position, and he had made 60, 200 for 3 now, the total for the Guyana Jaguars team. And that would have been a good wicket for the Leeward Islands to get this late stage of the day's play, with 7 overs remaining after this one. They would be pretty happy getting that third wicket, because it had started to look a bit ominous for the Leeward Islands with Chandapal literally anchored in. And this is what we were talking about.
Not only for the Leewards, but also for Berridge, who has bowled fairly well for the day.
He has bowled fairly well for the day. And that is what we were talking about, variety. Just trying something. That one, he just pushed it a little wider.
And you could see he also bent his back, because
Yes,
I think it was a little more of a bounce that defeated
hit the
batsman.
pitch, pushed it a little wider, had a little bit more pace on it, and the edge was found, and Chandapal is back in the pavilion. We've seen a right-hander show up for the Guyana Jaguars. Here is this delivery from Berridge. The batsman is that we will get the name in
Christopher Barnwell.
Is that Barnwell?
Yes.
Barnwell has come out, and Barnwell just facing one delivery so far, and he is a not. 200 for 3, the Guyana Jaguars. Barnwell yet to score, and Vishal Singh, he is on 22. After more thoughts from you, Vincy Boyne, it's going to be Jack Matthew.
Yes, Denmo, I think in this case, the bowlers will feel a lot more comfortable now bowling to the right-handers. And even from that first delivery that you saw Berridge bowl to Barnwell, we saw the ball coming back sharply at him, and you could see he was a little cramped and hustled in the shot. Let's see what will happen when they get an opportunity to bowl to the right-handed batsman as compared to the left-handers.
And it's the fast bowler and it is Kevin Archibald who is on his way, and that ball is called dead ball by umpire Verdane Smith of Jamaica. And so Colin Archibald will walk back to the top of his mark. The second new ball taken after 80 overs. So the second new ball is the one being used now as the Leeward Hurricanes look to get some late wickets on this opening day of the day-night fixture.
Yes.
In this regional first-class competition at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. Here is Colin Archibald outside the line of the off stump, and the left-handed Vishal Singh offers no shot, and the ball rushes into the gloves wicketkeeper Jamal Hamilton.
I think it was a good move by the captain to employ both Archibald and Berridge as the new ball bowlers for this new ball, because those two fast bowlers were the ones who were stronger throughout the day. As I commented, to me, Archibald has gotten stronger as the day has progressed.
So he's on his way, and it's turned away by Singh down to the backward square position, and the batsmen just amble the run. Singh and Christopher Barnwell has come to the crease after the demise of Tajnarain Chandapal after a vigil which lasted 243 deliveries for his 60 runs. Hit 7 fours in that knock. He was caught by Monson Hodge at second slip of the bowling of Berridge.
Yes, a painstaking knock, as some of us would say, to a strike rate of about 25%. Still, to me, not good enough.
Archibald is outside the right-hander's off stump. And, Christopher Barnwell just inclined to allow that ball to go by. Just trying to get the pace of the pitch, trying to get the bounce of the pitch, having just come in.
And as I said, he has grown strong. It seems as if he has gotten quicker as the game has progressed. But now that he has an opportunity to bowl to the right-handers, we were talking about him carrying the ball away from the right-handers. We see that delivery went away from the right-hander. What we would like to see now is that ball that curls back into the right-hander that has given quite a number of batsmen trouble from left-handed
Comes
bowlers.
in, and this is outside the line of the off stump. Again, it had a bit of pace on it, and Barnwell watching it closely, and it rushed into the gloves of Hamilton. So he's now in the course of his what? He has bowled inspiringly since the resumption. So this is his 14th over, 2 balls left in it. He has had 4 maidens, and he has taken 1 for 36.
1 for 26.
1 for 26. 1 for 26 he has taken. Bowling from this, the commentary box end. And he's on his way to bowl to Barnwell, and Barnwell is again getting a ball outside the line of the option. He doesn't have to play, and he lifts the bat and allows the ball to go by, taken low down by wicketkeeper Jamal Hamilton. There are 3 slips and a gully in place. So there is an attacking field for the second new ball, and providing encouragement as well for the young fast bowler, Colin Archibald, 23 years of age, walking back to the top of his mark.
Yes,
So he's on his way.
Playing in his first match also, first class match, we should
Yes,
say.
a debutant. Barnwell is looking to get a run here, but he doesn't as he turns the ball towards the forward square leg position, where it's picked up by Jason Peters. So the over ends from Colin Archibald, and Guyana Jaguars are winning the toss and batting against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. They're 201 for 3, with Christopher Barnwell yet to score and Vishal Singh on 23.
Yes, I'm looking at Colin Archibald's progression throughout the match from the start of play. He has certainly grown stronger. I think he has some talent. He certainly has some things to work on in his game, but if he can effectively work on those aspects of the game where he needs to strengthen, I think that Leeward Islands can have a quality bowler.
Berridge is in, turned away down to fine leg by Singh. He walks the last half of the pitch as Boatswain comes in to do the fielding and jogs around on the other side as the right-handed Barnwell comes in to strike to pick up his position. Boatswain at fine leg,
Yes,
from one side of the field to the other.
This left-hand, right-hand combination is also going to test the bowlers, because for the whole day they have been bowling at left-handed batsmen, and now they have to contend with the change of strike of left-handed and right-handed batsmen out there.
Berridge is outside line of the off stump, and Barnwell is driving loosely. That was a ball well wide outside the line of the off stump, but he was reaching for it. In fact, he had to reach so far for it that one of his hands came off the bat. In his attempt to get to that one, immediately Vishal Singh has called him down to have a word with him. He has been out there for a few deliveries. He's yet to get off the mark. He's by nature an aggressive batsman.
Yes.
Likes to get the ball hitting the bat hitting the ball. And so he was trying desperately to get bat onto ball on that occasion. And Jamal Hamilton have to make a sprawling save away to his right. Sheena Berry strides into ball to Barnwell, and Barnwell is edging but along the ground. The ball falling short of Monson Hodge at that second slip position.
Yes, the batsman electing to play with soft hands there, so not giving the ball the opportunity to fly away to slip or give an opportunity for a chance there. But Sheena Berridge is actually having a good ball at the right-handed batsman so far.
27 years of age, Sheena Berridge. In this match, he picked up his 50th first-class wicket, came into this game with 49, with his best effort being 5 for 59. He has had 49 wickets in a very short first-class career. Barnwell comes off the mark as he pushes the ball out towards the cover position. The man had extra cover, having to run back to get to it. And in the process, just maybe twisted his ankle. But he's back up now. That looks to be Damien Jacobs. And so just looking at a spot there where maybe he jarred his foot. But he seems to be all right.
Yes.
And the score has pushed on to 203 for 3.
And Sheena Berridge had an interesting turn of events when he made his debut as a Leeward Islands cricketer, because apparently they were short of players and had to call him away, and it was sort of an emergency situation that he got into the Leeward Islands setup.
Berridge is in, and it's turned away towards straightish mid-wicket by Singh, and there is no run. This is only his 16th first-class match. He's picked up 50 wickets, having come into the game with 49, and he has had 6 4-wicket hauls and 1 5-wicket haul in his short career, but he certainly has a lot of promise, and I think that the West Indies selectors need to bring him into the groove at this point in time. Has a lovely action, straight approach up as he runs it, goes past umpire Carl Tuckett, and the batsman is defending, coming across his stumps visual Singh and clipping it towards mid-wicket. So he remains on 23. Visual Singh is on 24, correction. 203 is the score for the loss of 3 wickets, and Christopher Barnwell is on 1.
Yeah, not only does Berridge have a lovely action, and not only does he have a quite smooth and rhythmic run up to the crease, but he always seems to give it his all, no matter what stage of the day or the innings or the state of the match. He always seems to be putting in his full effort to get results.
And we have seen a good effort as well on the part of Colin Archibald, who will continue the attack from the commentary box as he races in to bowl to Barnwell. Barnwell is defending, getting a ball in line with his stumps, but going past the edge. He was certainly playing a defensive stroke at that one, and the ball went past the edge of his bat.
I was commenting to Denmore that he has a run up and his action is almost reminiscent of Mitchell Stark of Australia. And maybe what he could do is start watching some videos in terms of that drive phase through the delivery stride phase of his bowling, which would generate a lot more power.
He's in, right arm over the wicket, and this time Barnwell doesn't play. Similar delivery, just lifting his bat and allowing wicketkeeper Hamilton to do the work. Barnwell, 33 years of age, has been around for some time, having played 53 first-class matches, scoring some 1,900 first-class runs. Just 1 century, 10 half centuries, at a average of 23.46.
Now,
he's taken on the pad, loud appeal. I think that one was pitched outside the line of the leg stump, and so that negates the decision of going in the affirmative, because once it's pitched outside the line of the leg stump, the umpire cannot give that verdict.
No, a more.
Although some have.
Yes. I know a more experienced bowler would have learned to use the crease a little more. So earlier we saw him curling the ball away from the left-handers. For him, getting closer to the stumps.
He's in, and Barnwell is trying to whip the ball through the leg side. And a tumbling save effected by wicketkeeper Jamal Hamilton, having to go down very, very quickly to his left to make that save. But Barnwell was flicking and missing down the leg side.
Yes, if he were to get closer to the stumps in his delivery, he could now create some problems for the batsman where he could get that ball curling into the right-handed batsman, and then when he delivers from wider of the crease, he gets it going across. So what will happen now is that he gives the batsman different options and different opportunities.
He'll go in once more, and Barnwell is beaten by this delivery. Oh, that was a good delivery. It was up to him, and he was playing and missing again. Going down to the wicketkeeper, low down for Hamilton. It remains on 203 for 3. So it's a testing time here for Barnwell.
Not only that, it was curling into Barnwell, and it seemed to beat the inside bottom edge of his bat on its way to the keeper.
Encouraging fast bowling here by Colin Archibald. Left arm fast bowler. And looks to be very, very nippy as he goes past umpire Smith. Barnwell electing not to play outside the off stump, perhaps with a sense of relief as well, because he has been troubled since he has come out by Colin Archibald. So the overs come to an end. It's 203 for 3. There's certainly been stagnation in terms of the scoring. It has been on 203 for some time. Barnwell is on 1, and Vijay Singh on 24.
Yes, and Archibald continues to put out a strong effort here with his bowling. We can see now that he's testing Barnwell, and it seems as if, well, so far, as I indicated, that he has appeared to have gotten stronger throughout the day. Earlier when he started out, he was not bowling that quickly. Maybe he was testing himself, testing the waters, but as the day has progressed, he seems to have quickened in pace. I don't know if it has to do with the conditions outside, which are cooler because it's nighttime conditions, but he has gotten stronger, and he has also started to move the ball around a little bit more in both directions, getting some to straighten, getting some to curl into the right-handed batsman and causing them some problems out there.
Quinton Boatswain has replaced Sheena Berridge from the far end, and he comes in with his bustling run-up and he's driving Vijay Singh outside the off stump, doesn't make contact, taken by Jamal Hamilton. A ball of full length, and he was certainly undone there by the pace of that delivery. It was late on the drive, and Hamilton clutches behind the stumps.
Not only was he late on the drive, but he wasn't to the pitch of that delivery for the drive. This extra effort gave was the ball bounced a little bit more, and it seemed a very risky shot. The most he would have done with that is probably gotten it over the slips or into the slip cordon from the way he played that shot.
Singh faces Boatswain, this time doesn't offer. Ball outside the off stump, and he lifts his bat, and skipping in front of first slip is wicketkeeper Hamilton to take that. Singh, in his 70th first-class game, came into this match with 3,604 runs. High score 161, an average of 33. He has had 800s in first-class cricket and 15 half-centuries. Had 3 test matches for the West Indies, but as the tally shows, it was not a period of excitement for him. He scored only 63 runs outside the line of the off stump, and there's no run. And he struggled for the most part.
That would have been expected, because he made West Indies without having scored a first-class 100. His 8 first-class centuries would have come after he would have made his test debut. And I think that was sort of premature to introduce an opening batsman into a West Indies squad and not even having shown the ability to score a first-class 100.
Indeed, and he came at a time too when the West Indies were really looking for batsmen. They were struggling, and he got an opportunity, but he certainly did not fulfill the expectations. He's playing and missing at this delivery, taken by wicketkeeper Hamilton. Boatswain in his 21st first-class game. Just walking back to the top of his mark there in consultation with the mid-on fielder. That looks to be Berridge. He's offering a word of advice.
Yes.
Boatswain's problem essentially has been a lack of consistency, a lack of control, consistent control, I must say.
It's certainly
He can bowl with pace.
Certainly been the quickest bowler out there today, but has not necessarily troubled the batsmen as much as the other two fast bowlers on show.
Yes, he's picked up 34 wickets in the first-class cricket. Boatswain in his 21st game at this level, best 4 for 82. As he stands at the top of his mark now, he bowled to the left-handed visual Singh. Right arm ball is in and it's outside the off stump. And no shot offered. Hamilton takes. There are 3 slips and a gully. Well, let's say we have 4 slips. There's a gap between the 4th slip fielder and the man at 3rd slip. And there's a fielder in the backward point area.
Actually, 3 slips on the gully.
3 slips on the gully.
Yes, because the 4th person is the wicket keeper.
3 slips on the gully.
Yeah. And then the point.
Well, the 5th person is the wicket keeper, the 5th person. This is down the leg side and well stopped by Jamal Hamilton. This was a wayward delivery from Boatswain, looking for that extra pace and losing control. And the ball sliding down the leg side to be stopped by the wicket keeper. So how many overs we have left in the day's play?
3 more.
3 more overs. Well, Denmore Roberts will take it to the close. So at the end of that over, it's 203 for 3 with 1 to Barnwell and 24 to Visual Singh. More from Vincy Boyne, and then to take it to the close, it will be Denmore Roberts.
Yes, we saw that Quinton Boatswain certainly was trying to put in some effort there coming on to the end of play. Was troubling to the batsman. It seemed as if his line was pretty okay during the over, but he lost it on the final delivery of the over. However, with 3 more overs to go, the game seems to be poised, interestingly, for a second day of play.
Archibald will bowl one of the final 3 overs. He's in left arm over the wicket to the right-handed Barnwell. Barnwell is pushing this one into the offside field, can't score. So the total remains on 203 for 3. It was 200 for 3 when I left, and I'm back, and it's just 3 runs scored. So it's been kind of pretty much closing shop, shutting up shop for today, just trying to survive these final 18 deliveries. 17 now as this is in, and he's flashing at one outside the line of the off stump. I just said that he had closed up shop, but Barnwell wanted to score off that one. It was short of a length outside the off stump, and he was looking to cut that away. He missed it completely. And no run, 3 slips and a gully for Archibald, that he would be happy to have a nice hard ball in his hand tomorrow in sunshine with 3 slips and a gully. It's pretty cool in the evening here with a strong breeze. Here is Archibald with still looking nice and bright as he's in outside the line of the off stump, much too wide for the right-hander to be interested. The ball going towards the first slip. Skipping across is the left-handed, is the wicket-keeper in Jamal Hamilton, and there is no run.
And then more, if you notice, the Leeward Islands they're looking really attacking in this, last session. Coming down to the end, the last hour, they're looking really good.
And you would hope that they would have been this excited earlier on in the day, when really they should have been, not allowing the team to get away. In the match, if you're wondering, West Indies versus Ireland, West Indies are now 198 for 7. 198 for 7. Remember, they need 238 for victory. Carrie Peer is not out on 17, and Hayden Walsh Jr. is not out on 29. So they're having a little bit of a rear guard action here for the West Indies. Deliveries worked away through the mid-wicket region. He's going to get runs. He is running pretty close to the boundary. The fielder will pick it up just before the boundary. Has a good, strong throw back to the bowler's end, and the batsmen were able to come back for a second run. So 2 more to the total, 2 more to the Guyana Jaguars. They are on 205 for 3. Singh is on 24. Arnwell is there on 3. 2 overs to go after this one in the day's play. Here we watch as this is Archibald outside the line of the off stump. Just shoulders, arms. That's Barnwell just bringing that left leg straight down the pitch, just raising the bat, allowing it to go into the gloves of Hamilton. And there is no run. The end of another over has come up. At the end of it, Guyana Jaguars, they are on 205 for 3, with Barnwell on 3 and Singh on 24.
Yes, Denmo, I heard you spoke about closing up shop, but there's no closing up shop for Christopher Barnwell. As long as you put that ball in a particular area, he's going after it, you know, because that's the sort of player he is. He's an attacking player. So as long as you as a bowler could get the deliveries in a particular area, asking questions of him, he will.
He certainly took the opportunity in that over. We saw him playing a cut shot, wanting to really dispatch the ball. Boatswain is in. Short delivery, just rocking back and allowing it to go into the gloves of Hamilton, is Vishal Singh, the left-handed player for the Guyana Jaguars. Vishal Anthony Singh, born January 12th, 1989 in Guyana. So he's not a spring chicken. He's 30 years old. And just 4 days to go before his birthday. He says 30 years and 360 days when we printed this. So he's having a birthday soon, probably celebrating it here in Antigua. Here is his delivery, having him on the back foot and forcing it out into the offside field, and there is no run. And he's batting with Christopher Barnwell. Barnwell, a name that we've heard around the Guyana team for a long time. He's played for the West Indies, Barbados, Tridents, Guyana, Guyana Amazon, Warriors, Royals, Challengers, Bangalore, the St. Lucia Zooks, and the West Indies A. So he's been around the block. Here is this delivery from the bowler in Boatswain. The batsman able to come through for what proved to be an easy single in the end. The fielder in that mid-wicket position was deep and had to do a lot of work. Couldn't prevent the single. The batsman literally just walked through, just jogged through for the single. So 1 more to the total. 206 it goes up to. 206 for 3. And the Guyana Jaguars would want to end the day without any further loss of wicket. But there's always an opportunity when Barnwell is playing, because even if it's the last delivery, he's still in the game. Here we see facing up now as Boatswain is in to bowl to him, and he's getting one on the line of the leg stump. Was looking to work it down the onside, not making contact, skipping across and taking well is Jamal Hamilton, even with those tired legs at the end of the day, still skipping, still doing the job behind the stumps for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, and hoping for that extra wicket. The West Indies, they've lost another wicket. They're now 200 for 8. We'll tell you who is out. Carrie Peer was caught for 18. So Hayden Walsh is still there with Shepherd and Cottrell to come. Here is this delivery outside the line of the off stump, just allowing it to go by is Christopher Barnwell. You could hear his brain thinking there about cutting at that one, and then he decided against it. He said it's close to 9 in the evening. No, Barnwell, no. As he was really looking, if that was at 9 in the morning, he would have certainly smashed that one somewhere in the offside, but he just resisted the temptation. He watches as Boatswain, who wants him to take up the challenge, stands and begins to move in now. Goes in past the umpires in and bowls. And Barnwell again just raising the bat belatedly, allowing it to go into the gloves of Hamilton. And there is no run. End of another over. So just 1 over to go. I think that's the end of the 89th over of the day. Guyana Jaguars, they are 206 for 3 with Barnwell on 3 and Singh on 25.
Yeah, Denmore, you know, usually on a normal day when you would have a match starting at 10 o'clock, you, in the evening when it's coming down to closer play, you know, the bowlers, the fast bowlers just come and bowl some quick bumpers, and then the batters would say, I can't see.
I can't, yes.
Unfortunately, you don't have that
You don't
here.
have that luxury because the lights are on in all its glory, so you can bowl those fast bowlers all during the day.
Straight down.
Because in daylight, you love to when you see those fast bowlers coming on, because the first thing that probably above your knee, you can't see.
That's
So
right.
they don't have that luxury tonight, so they're going to have to bat it out.
That's right.
And it looks as if it's going to be Archibald who's going to bowl what we think is the final over of the day, 90th over of the day's play. So far, the bowling for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes buried 17 overs, 45 runs, 1 wicket. Quinton Boatswain 13 overs, 44 runs, no wicket. Here we watch as this is a short delivery. The batsman just flinching a bit and just ducking his head. He's a short man. Doesn't take much for the ball to get over him. And the ball going by and into the gloves of Jamal Hamilton, and there's no run. Casey Carty had 5 overs for 18 runs. Keswan Archibald, who is in the attack now, and he's there. So far, he's bowled 16.1 overs, 5 maidens, 28 runs, 1 wicket. He's bowled well today. Here is he in and outside the line of the off stump. And he's gotten better as he has gone on. He was floating it up earlier on, but he has seemingly, somebody has spoken to him and he's been hitting the pitch a lot, especially with the second new ball. And he's looked a lot better as he's continuing there. Boatswain, 13 overs, 2 maidens, 44 runs, no wickets. And Damien Jacobs, he has 14 overs for 25 runs. He's had a wicket. Jake Taylor, 21 overs for 36 runs without a wicket. Powell had 3 overs for 8 runs. Here is this delivery outside the line of the off stump. Again, the batsman doesn't have to offer a stroke, so you tend to think that you're not going to see Vishal Singh play at anything today, except he has to. Anything that looks a little bit wide on any side of the pitch, you expect that he's going to be leaving it alone.
And here is where Archibald needs to, use that opportunity to ask him to play.
Certainly, he needs to get them these deliveries on the line of the stumps. Ensure that he's feeling back onto ball right towards the end of the day's play. Here we watch as just starts and stops as Barnwell has just seemingly probably just got an insect somewhere in his nose. He's put down his gear. Here is Archibald in, and this delivery, the batsman is turning it down to the fine leg region, and he's picked up 4 runs.
Yes, good shot there from
As a matter of
Singh.
fact, it was leg bias given by the umpire, so it was angled into him. Probably came off the thigh pad. We thought it was a good shot. Looked as if he might have gotten back onto it. Based on where it went, he would be disappointed to see the umpire up there signaling leg bias. I'm sure that he would have wanted those as runs, but leg bias given, but 4 into the books, and the Guyana Jaguars go on to 210 for 3.
Yes, a badly lined delivery there from Archibald, and he was punished.
Here is Archibald in once more, and this delivery is bringing the batsman forward. A belated appeal from Archibald. He was thinking of going for the ball, and then his slips went up, and he joined in just more in optimism than in anticipation. It didn't look as if he believed that one was out, and it probably hit Singh somewhere close to the box. And like I've been saying, he's a short man, so You hit him in the box, and there was an appeal for leg before. It's that short.
Should that be leg before?
Should not be. But he is in a little spot of bother. But he will have the rest of the night to sleep it off. The umpire going across to him and say, hello, it's one delivery left in
more
the
delivery.
day.
You need to get the line and
You
face
get
this.
the line and face this one. So the physio who was running out after the umpire just had a quiet word with Singh, probably said, hey, it's just one delivery to go. You can sleep it off later. So he sent this physio back off. Physio is safely back off the field of play. And the captain has just moved that man from cover to backward square to probably just put something in the mind that probably, you know what, you're going to get a bumper. Yeah, you're going to get a short delivery now just for good measure. Coming around the wicket for this last delivery is the batsman. Here is
Gone.
Caught behind. Gone. So the trap would have worked because he moved the man from the offside and sent him into backward into the square leg region, looking as if he was going to give him a short one, came around the wicket to change the angle as well, and then pitched it up, one that was going towards the slip, edge foul, catch taken, plan works, the end of the day's play. Vishal Singh goes caught off the bowling of Archibald. Archibald would end on a high. He has gotten his second wicket, and the Guyana Jaguars are now 210 for 4.
Yes, Denmo. Whoever orchestrated that plan, it was well orchestrated. So that was well done there on behalf of the Leeward Islands. Well bowled, edge found, catch taken as you mentioned. That was a good one there for the Leeward Islands.
We could see the plan from here because he was struck probably in the midriff area, and he was in trouble. He walked away. The physio came on. The umpire whispered something to him, maybe just one delivery to go. He sent the physio off, and the Leeward Islands realizing that, you know what, he might not be 100%.
He is not 100%.
Right, and they moved the field. The bowler changed his line, and it worked. He nicked it. Catch was taken, and that was the end of Vishal Singh. And the Leeward Islands would feel a lot better about their day with Singh caught Hamilton off the bowling of Archibald for 25, and Guyana going at the end of the day's play on 210 for 4 with Barnwell on 3, and a new batsman would be coming in the morning.
Yes, Leeward Islands really finishing on a high here on the first day's play. Archibald, who is on his debut, he would have bowled very well, for a youngster just coming into the team. And, he seems as if he wants to lead the attack. When you look at himself and Quinton Boatswain, I would give him a nod above Quinton Boatswain, particularly in this game. It's the first time I'm seeing him playing, a 4-day match. It's his first game. I would have seen him in 1 day as before. But, he looks pretty well. And as I mentioned before, the Leeward Islands would have been, finished this first day on a high and, looking to continue from where they left off tomorrow.
Certainly. Shandapal, Tajnarayan Shandapal was caught Munson Hodge of Sheena Berridge for 60. Shandapal Hemorrhage was caught Jason Peters of Kedron Archibald for 52. Leon Johnson, the captain, was 59. Caught off the bowling of Damian Jacobs, and he had gotten to 59 as well. Leon Johnson, Vishal Singh was the last man to go. He had made 25, and Christopher Barnwell was left not out on 3. The bowling, Sheena Barrett, 17 overs, 45 runs, 1 wicket. Quinton Boatswain, 13 overs, 44 runs, no wicket. Casey Carty, 5 overs for 18 runs. Kezron Archibald, 17 overs, 28 runs, 2 wickets. Jake Taylor, 21 overs, 36 runs. He didn't get a wicket. Damian Jacobs, 14 overs, 25 runs, 1 wicket. And Kieran Powell, he had 3 overs for 8 runs. Guyana ending the day on 210 for 4 after winning the toss and electing to bat. We will be here back tomorrow afternoon at 1:55 p.m. when we go on the air for the second day of this West Indies Championship match between the Guyana Jaguars and the Amazon Warriors, or the Guyana Jaguars and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Let me get it right. The Guyana Jaguars and the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. So on behalf of co-commentators Jack Matthew and Vincey Bowen, and expert comments coming from Anthony Martin and Darwin Telemac, and of course our technical director, we thank you for joining us. Do join us again tomorrow for continued coverage. Denmore Roberts saying goodbye from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua.